Kama si Rocel Lopez, umaarangkada sa Spear Cyber TV.
Naloko ka ba? Inapi ka ba? At hindi nabigyan ng hustisya? Sosolusyonan ngayon na sa serbisyo publiko ng Spear Cyber TV.
Usapin, talakayin. Opinyon, lilinawin. Kasama si Rocel Lopez, umaarangkada sa Spear Cyber TV.
Okay, magandang hapon mga kaibigan. At ngayon po ay Tuesday edition ng programang UTOL. Usapin, talakayin, opinyon, lilinawin, syempre dito lamang sa Spear Cyber TV. At ako po ang inyong makakasama, magiging kahuntahan, magiging kakwentuhan, kajamming, katropa pips, kakosa, Rocel Lopez. At pasensya na kayo, medyo malat at ako'y kagagaling lamang po sa Sipo, sa Trangkaso. Kaya pagpasensya nyo na po ang aking boses. At syempre, kasama ko po sa technical side ang aking kaisa-isa, ang nag-iisang technical engineer na Spear Cyber TV, si Joshua Mendoza. Aba, siyempre mga kaibigan, bago tayo magsimula, kahit minamala tayo, ay batiin muna natin yung ating mga tropa pips, yung ating laging mga taga-subaybay dito sa programang UTOL. No? Umpisahan na natin siyempre yung ating regular viewer at listener na taga Caloocan City, wala pong iba kundi si Daniel Valdez. At siyempre gayon din sina J. Otto Enrico Velasquez alias Corixman ng BJMP Riders Group, si Paring Hiner Arriesgado at Kagawad Ruben Almoyte de Chauco, si Kagawad Bengbeng ng Barangay Pulo, Valenzuela City. At gayon din si Ma'am Patricia Madrigal, ang siyang CEO at President ng Madrigal Foundation at ng grupo nilang Yes Movement, Babae, Mahalaga Ka. At gayon din yung aking Tito Rick Santiago at si Al Santiago, yung kanyang anak ng Orani Bataan Public Market. At kayong magagawin ron, hanapin nyo lamang ang Al Carinderia. At ang kapatid ng Tito Ricon, si Tita Mel de Santiago Angeles, na nakabase naman po sa Mabalacat, Pampanga. At nanonood sa atin ngayon, ayan, nakikita ko si Silvestre Gossi. Silvestre Gossi, SY. Nanonood sa atin, magandang hapon sa iyo, Silvestre. Silvestre, ayan. At yung mga kaibigan natin sa Ilocos Norte, sina Ma'am Jenny Dean at Ruel Ambaro, sina Michael at Cyril P. Benito, sina Jefferson Domingo, si Ira at si Jenny ng Paraiso ni Aniben sa Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. At gayon din yung si Ate Gemma Payawal at Utol Ronald Payawal ng Paywatch Beach Resort sa Lian, Batangas. At gayon din ang Marinduque Morions Riders Group mula pa naman kay Christopher de los Santos at gayon din si Ma'am Jane Malalastas at siyempre si Ma'am Gloria Macalintal Parel buhat naman sa New York City sa US. Kaya magandang hapon sa inyo, ma'am, at happy viewing at happy listening po sa inyo. At yung mga taga Bulacan, sila Police Colonel Orlando Castil Jr., and Chief of Police ng San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan, si Magno Frendol ng San Jose del Monte Prosecutor's Office, at siyempre sina Maxi de la Cruz Yob at kapatid niyang si Gemma de la Cruz, si Bunso, na nasa United Arab Emirates. At gayon din ang tambayang batch 85 ng Elisa Esguera High School, sina Bossing Arnel, Lisa Celso Basilio, si Amor, Marisa Cruz, Joselito Doji Dibla, Neil Evangelista, Abner Libunao, at ang pinsang ko si Abet Santiago. At siya nga pala, condolence po sa aming kabatchmate na si Wilma Tenorio, dahil po sa namatay na ang kanyang esposo, yung kanyang asawa na ngayon po ay nakaburol sa Floresco Funeral Homes sa General Luna Street, Malabon City. Condolence sa iyo, Wilma, at kaya mo yan. At praise God at rest in peace sa iyong asawa. At ganyan din mga taga-Sandigan Bayan, sina Kuya Albert Abet de la Cruz, siyang chief ng Sandigan Bayan Sheriff Division, at mga staff niyang sina Jomar Magdasok at Robert Steve Esteban. At nanonood na rin sa atin ang ating assistant cameraman, si Edgardo Edson Bise Jr. Nanonood sa atin buhat naman sa DBM, sa Procurement Service Department. Daniel, nabati na kita ha? At medyo kahapon di ka nag-react, ha? Hindi ka na sa bagay, may nilad ka yun Manila water, okay? At ganyan din ng aking kabats noong ako'y nasa Department of Justice bit pa sa Supreme Court, si Monto Nyakaw, dati kong kasama sa DOJ beat, na siya pa'y taga-bombo radyo. Pero ngayon ay isa ng abogado de Campanilla. At ganyan din si Ma'am Aiza Reniba Cruz ng Radyo 5 92.3 News FM TV5. Noong ako po nandun pa, siya ang aking mentor, yung aking ate, at kapag ako'y may problema, siya lang po ang aking nalalapitan. At siyempre sa kanyang programang Metro Sabado, kasama niya si Kuya Alex Tinsay. Good afternoon sa iyo, Ma'am Aiza Reniba Cruz. At ganyan din si Sir Chief Elmer Aquino, na sales manager ng Kamaya ko sa Maribeles, Bataan, at sa esposa niya si Ate Donna Aquino. Ewan ko lang kung nakabalik na si Sir Chief Elmer Aquino buhat sa Maribeles, sa Kamaya, kung nakabalik na siya ng Metro Manila. Good afternoon sa iyo, Elmer Aquino, at kay Ate Donna Aquino. At gayon din si Alan Llaneta ng DCEL Lucena Radyo Aguila. Good afternoon sa UTOL. At siyempre kay Annabel Jimenez, buhat naman sa Switzerland, na lagi nanonood din sa ating programang UTOL ng Spear Cyber TV. At siyempre kay retired Master Sergeant Henry Terrano ng Caloocan City, Demi Garcia ng Tugatog Malabon, at Arnie Montoya ng Office of the Vice Mayor ng Malabon City, Ninong de la Cruz. At gayon din kay kapatid nila si Kuya Danny Garcia. At siyempre sina Kagawad Sani Dadad Pineda ng Barangay Tugatog, Malabon City, at Kagawad Jerry Aquino ng Barangay Maysilo, Malabon City, na lagi nila nag-out of the country. Aba, iba na talaga pag mayaman, Joshua. At ganyan din kina Atty. Ariel Linton, presidente ng Lawyers for Commuter Safety and Protection. At ganyan din sa Two Sisters Bakery sa Coster Street, Brixtonville Subdivision sa Camarin, Caloocan City, na pag-aari po nila Elizabeth at Danilo Bongcales. Ayan po. At ganyan din ang kapatid niya sina Ate Rhea Dula at asawa niya si Kuya Arnel Dula ng Jacinto Street, Barangay Pag-asa, Barangay 175, Camarin, Caloocan City. At ngayon, nabati ko na si Ed Sombise Jr., assistant cameraman natin, at siyempre sa kapatid niya si Angie Sombise na Inge, na araw-araw nanonood sa programang UTOL buhat naman sa Qatar. At siyempre mga taga Northern Police District, DMFP Division, sina Police Corporal Erickson Tanson, Police Corporal Rudy Bugarin, at ganyan din sina Joel Simpao, Daisy Flores, Sonny Reyes, Renato Junio, at si Boss Executive Director Eliza May Cuevas ng DBM Procurement Service, from Ed Sombise. Ayan. So wala na tayong nakakalimutan. Wala na ba tayong nakakalimutan, Joshua? Babatiin din natin si siyempre, yung ating kasama natin dito, si Erwin Velez, no? Na ngayon po ay naghahanda para sa nalalapit niyang pakikipag-isang dibdib, no, sa kanyang jowawa. Ha? Ano ang pangalan ng jowawa ni Erwin, Joshua? Jessa. Jessa Saragosa ba? Jessa. Congratulations sa inyo, Jessa. At gayon din kay Erwin Velez. So magiging Jessa Velez na siya coming soon. Bueno mga kaibigan, at ngayon ay kahapon, kung maalala nyo, ay naging bisita natin ang technical spokesperson ng Manila Water na si Ma'am Craig Ibarra, no? At kahapon tinalakay natin yung mga water interruptions, kung ano yung mga tinatayo nila, mga sewerage system, etc., yung mga imbakan ng tubig. Kahapon ay marami tayong tinalakay at pinag-usapan at maging yung naging desisyon ng Korte Suprema na pinagmumulta sila ng penalty. No? So pinaliwanag ni Ma'am Cree na sila ay nagsumite ng motion for consideration para nga sagutin yung mga sinasabi ng Supreme Court na bakit sila pinagmumulta. So sinagot nila yon kung hindi sila dapat pagmultahin o kung ano man ang magiging desisyon ng Supreme Court. No? So abangan natin at nakapagsumite na po sila. Anyway, itutuloy lang natin mga kaibigan dahil nung linggo ay naging bisita po sa isang forum, talakayan, ang Manila Water din sa isang forum sa Maynila, sa Balitaan sa Maynila, kung saan ay naging bisita rin po doon ang Manila Water. So doon ay diniscuss din, hindi ko alam kung ano po dinidiscuss pa nila ron, bukod doon sa naging talakayan natin kahapon dito sa ating studio, kasama nga natin si Ma'am Craig Ibarra. Well, doon din ay naging bisita rin ay si Ma'am Craig Ibarra dahil siya ang spokesperson, so siya rin po ang nagsalita ron sa ginanap na Balitaan sa Maynila. Pinakamaganda, panoorin po natin kung ano naging talakayan doon sa Tinapayan sa Maynila, doon sa Balitaan sa Maynila. Panoorin po natin.
Ano yung laging sinasabi ni Angelo dito? Welcome to... Pakilan tayo, Potpot. Basta tuwing linggo, ang media ay nandito sa Tinapayan. Kasi meron tayong balitaan sa Manila every Sunday na walang katapat. Yan. Kasi walang talaga katapat in Manila or in Quezon City or anywhere na forum. Kaya nag-iisa na forum tuwing linggo. Yan. Ang ating balitaan sa Manila Forum. Watsa ka na po na ating main anchor na si Angelo Almonte na maaaring may this time kumain ng durian or marang dyan sa Davao, nakapakasyon. Kami muna ang inyong pumakasama this morning. Ako po si Lakay, Rolly Gonzalo.
Ako naman po si Dave Veridiano.
At magandang at Lakay ng umaga kasi puro ladies ang ating mga guests representing Manila Water. Si Chris, Cree Guevara and Chris, Crin Joseph. Cree and Queen. Yan. Puro K ang ating mga guests ngayong umaga. Magkatunog. At yung makatawan sa Manila Water Well. Itong ating pag-usapan, alam niyo na, nakaka-nervyos kasi ang sabi sa report baka abutin daw ng Pasko o baka bagong taon itong tinatawag na rotational water interruption. Sana naman wag. Okay. Dave, bumati muna.
Baka nagtataka sila bakit Manila Waters lang ang kasama natin dito ngayon. Yung Maynila din, medyo bigla ang tumawag na hindi raw makakarating. So, ang ating kapili ngayon
Hindi kaya schedule nila na pag-iigib? Kaya hindi makarating. Parehas na, baka schedule na kanya pag-iigib. Kaya hindi makarating. Anyway, joke lang yun. So, sige. Cree and Queen. Okay. Ladies, anong update ngayon? Yan ang siguro gusto malaman natin mga kasama sa media. Ano so far ang pinakahuling good news na maaaring may balita natin sa ating mga kasamahan? Chris and Queen. Cree and Queen. Yan. Queen. Oh, si Chris muna siguro. Cree muna.
Hello.
Yan. Green and green. Yan.
For Manila Water po, starting Thursday, October 24, nagpatupad na po kami ng scheduled rotational water service interruption. Yung schedule po ng interruption ay iba-iba kada lugar and nagre-range po ito from 4 to 10 hours na interruption. Pero ito po ay ginagawa sa gabi kung kailan po sa tingin namin least disruptive po sa ating customers.
Sa nakakatanggap ako madalas ng text, kaya lang sa Maynila yun na mayroon service interruption, usually nagsisimula ng alas 4 ng hapon hanggang alas 6 ng umaga. Ganun din kayo, nagpapadala ng mga text messages sa mga subscribers ninyo.
Apo, for Manila Water po, meron na rin po kami yung mga text alerts. Magre-register lang po yung customers namin. Opo. And aside from the text alert po, doon po sa aming social media pages, sa aming Facebook page na Manila Water at aming Twitter account na @ManilaWaterPH, nandun din po nakapaskil yung schedule ng ating interruption po.
Ang isa sa mga tinatanong, Cree, ayon sa pag-asa, normal pa rin yung level ng tubig sa Angat Dam. Di ba? Normal. Ba't kinakailangan mag-schedule na kayo ng interruption? Kamusta naman?
Ang desired level po ng Angat Dam level, nang sa ganun na ito po ay mapagkasya natin yung limited supply hanggang summer of next month, hanggang sa summer of next year rather, hanggang sa magtag-ulan, ay dapat nasa level na 212 meters. Sa kasalukuyan, ang level po ngayon ng Angat Dam as of this morning at 6 a.m., no, ito ay nasa 185.39. So this is as a trend ngayon, no, pababa po ito ng pababa at palayo ng palayo dun sa desired level na gusto natin, which is 212. So ngayon, gumagawa tayo ng mga interim solution na sa ganun ay mapagkasya natin yung limitadong supply na ito hanggang summer next year, which is yung kalakasan po ng demand.
Well, pinag-usapan sa kayo yung pansamantala lang, na remedyo, What about in the faraway future? Yung sinasabing pagkakatayo ng Kaliwa Dam at saka pang mga proyekto na inisip niyo.
Tama po kayo, itong ginagawa natin ngayon na rotational water service interruption, effectively ito po ay short-term na solution para ma-manage lang po yung supply natin enough para magkaroon tayo ng supply sa darating na mga buwan, lalong-lalo na po sa summer ng 2020. And every year po, meron na pong napag-usapan ng mga medium to long-term solutions po. Every year merong mga projects na dapat po mangyari. For example po, for 2021, yung phase 1 po ng East Bay ng Manila Water ay mangyayari na po until phase 2 ng 2022-2023. Magde-deliver po ito ng additional 250 million liters per day or ito po ay equivalent sa consumption ng 1.5 million na katao po. So, makakadagdag din po yun. Tapos meron din po kami yung Wawa Dam, yung Kalawis Dam, and yung sa government nga po na Kaliwa Dam. Ang Ipo Dam po is actually parang reservoir lang siya, dinadaanan lang siya galing sa Angat. So from Angat Dam, Ipo Dam, hanggang papunta po doon sa aming mga treatment plants.
Yung panukala, Rina, pati natin i-maximize yung malapit sa atin, yung Laguna Lake. Di ba? Although, meron na kayong mga filtration plants na yan sa Laguna Lake, di ba? Pati din natin i-maximize na yan. Laguna Lake.
Ay wala ring dumadaan sa ating mga metro. So, effectively, iba-iba po ang actually ang experience ng ating customers. May mga times na bumaba kasi depende talaga ito sa gamit talaga. Pero yung iba po, napapansin nila is pareho lang yung bill nila. Kasi po, during the time naman na may interruption, nag-iipon din sila para magamit nila during the time na may interruption. So, effectively, kung ano yung konsumo nila dati, ay yun pa rin po ang nagagamit na tubig.
yung concern din ng ibang consumer na parang mas nadoble pa yung gastos nila kasi kailangan pa nilang bumili ng additional drum, timba. Alam niyo naman po yung mga pang-store ng tubig.
Kaya po namin ina-advise talaga yung customers natin na mag-ipon lang po ng sapat kasi anyway naman po sa Manila Water, every day, sinisigurado naman po namin na magkakaroon ng tubig every day except for the hours, 4 to 10 hours po yung interruption schedule and usually sa gabi po. So, mag-ipon lang po sila ng sapat para po doon sa mga oras na wala pong tubig. So usually po, hindi po kailangan ng malalaking drums, hindi po kailangan ng marami masyadong tubig during the times na yon, kahit po balde lang na maliit.
Oh. Sige.
Sige.
Ma'am, sabi nyo kanina, sa hanggang dam, 3 chemicals na ang ginagamit. Sa Laguna Lake is 14. Bakit ganun karami sa Laguna Lake?
Ang Laguna Lake po kasi na quality ay medyo masyadong madumi po as compared sa Angat Dam na water. Kasi ang Angat Dam po na water, yun po ay surface water. Ibig sabihin, galing lang po sa ulan talaga. Kaya lang po, yung sa Laguna Lake, nagiging ano na siya doon napupunta yung household waste ng iba. Opo. So medyo mas polluted po kasi talaga yung Laguna Lake.
Ang dami may mga CR sa paligid ng Laguna Lake.
Hi ma'am, good morning. May pag-aaral na po ba na pwedeng kumuha sa dagat? Para hindi na tayo, shortage? Pwedeng pag-aaral na ng mga water companies. Sa dagat po tayo kumuha.
Lahat po ng possible solutions ay ine-explore naman po. Kaya lang po, for Manila Water, ang gusto talaga namin ng solution is yung pinakamura po para sa ating customers. And ang pinakamura pa rin po ngayon is really the surface water.
Tapos may mga bayan pa kayo sa, kasi yung mga lakas lumapit.
Yung malakas na magano yung mga karwas eh. Oh, yun yung magastos talaga sa tubig eh. Yung mga karwas natatapon. Ano pa yung masasabi niyo sa kanila?
Ay, sa ating po mga customers, ang hinihingi po talaga natin ngayon ay cooperation din po sa panahon ngayon na limitado talaga yung supply ng tubig natin. Ang nananawagan po kasi sa aming mga customers na maging responsable po sa paggamit ng tubig. So, paano ba yung responsabling paggamit ng tubig? Number 1 po ay mag-prioritize po tayo according to needs. Unahin po natin yung gamit na pang-inom, pangluto, pangligo po, yung pong car wash, paglinis. Kung pwede po ay gamitin natin yung recycled na water. For example po, yung mga pinagbanlawan habang naglalaba po tayo. Tapos po, yun naman sa mga malalaking businesses, nandyan din po yung mga swimming pool kasi natin. So, kung pwede rin po na bawasan muna yung pagpapalit ng tubig doon sa kanilang swimming pools, kung pwede po na yung pag-clean na lang po muna, pag-disinfect ng tubig ang gamitin natin.
Lakay huwag kang magpapalit ng swimming pool mo.
Oo nga. Mas mura pa pagka balde-balde kasi shower ang paligo.
Actually po yung comparison ng pagtatabo at pagsha-shower ay depende po talaga sa paggamit ng tao. Kasi dati naman po ang shower po kasi na-invent talaga yan para mas makatipid. Kasi mas pressurized, tapos mas spread yung tubig as compared yung tabo na buhos talaga ng buhos. Pero ang nangyari po kasi sa atin, nagkaroon tayo ng ugali na pag binuksan mo yung shower, iniiwan mo lang nakabukas habang kahit nagsasabon ka, kasi tinatamad kang ngayon kasi pwede na siya na nakabukas merong shower as compared kung tabo na kailangan mo talagang manually ibuhos sa sarili mo. So depende po talaga ito sa gamit ng tao.
Parang parang pagtutoothbrush, di ba? Yes. Toothbrush, huwag mo hayang nakabukas yung faucet.
Meron pa kayo nakikita pagkatapos 20 po, kunti ang ulan na
Actually, yung pagre-refill po talaga ng Angat Dam level in relation din sa pinapatupad natin na rotational water service interruption is very dependent on rains. So, until such time na hindi siya mano-normalize is magpapatuloy po yung pagpapa-implement natin ng rotational service interruption. Nang sa ganun, we can allocate and equitably distribute yung limitado pa rin nating supply ngayon. So, kung hindi po talaga uulan, ito po ay inaasahan natin na mangyayari taon-taon. Ngunit kaagapay naman po nito, meron tayong mga supply augmentation programs na inimplement naman po ni Manila Water. Kagaya nga po nung na-mention kanina, meron po tayong Cardona water treatment plant na may capacity magbigay ng 100 million liters per day, no, para sa 500,000 na service connections, no. And then we also have yung mga deep wells po natin na may capacity naman ngayon na magbigay ng 40 to 42 million liters per day. And on top of that pa po, continuously, no, as part of our regular activity is the continuation of paghahanap ng mga physical losses sa ating mga linya. Nang sa ganun, ito po ay instead na tumatapon, ito po ay nakakapag-augment, no, papunta sa aming distribution lines at papunta sa customers naman po natin. Cardona Water Treatment Plant. Deep well, sir.
May mga pagkakataon na sa isang lugar, yung schedule nyo na-extend. Halimbawa, emergency, yung mga tao wala ng tubig. Pwede ba silang tumawag sa inyo para manghingi ng supply na dadali ng truck? Paano sila tatawag? Sino kukontakin nila?
Opo. Para dun po sa mga customers namin, napapansin nila na hindi po natutupad yung schedule na sinabi namin. So, wag po silang mag-atubiling makipag-ugnayan sa amin. Ang hotline po namin is 1627 and maaari din po silang magpadala ng private message po sa aming Facebook page na Manila Water at sa Twitter account namin na @ManilaWaterPH. Pero gaya nga po ng nasabi ni Kring kanina, so far po, since Thursday, 100% accurate po ang aming schedule.
Okay, gusto ko lang i-follow up yung tanong kanina ng Channel 5. Asahan ba na mas mababa ang bill sa tubig sa ngayon?
Ang bill po talaga ng ating customers ay depende po talaga sa gamit
Oo nga,
na
di merong water interruption, di ba? May bawas dapat.
Ay, kasi po, nagbibill lang kami kung ano yung dumadaan sa metro po.
Nakipalagay ko, kung ano yung nagamit, yun ang babayaran. Kung walang tubig, wala kang magagamit, wala kang babayaran.
Apat na oras halimbawa yung bawas every night, di ba?
Wala rin, during the time kasi na may interruption, wala rin po kasing dumadaan dun sa metro. So wala rin nagre-register na additional consumption. Pero dun po sa, may mga customers din po kasi kami na napapansin nila na tumataas yung bill. So, kasi may mga nagko-complain, ang kailangan po natin gawin dun, i-check din po natin yung network natin sa loob ng bahay natin. Kasi minsan, mga luma na po, may mga tagas na. Madali naman pong i-check yun. Kung po, nakasara lahat ng gripo, tapos umiikot pa rin yung metro, ibig sabihin po nun may tagas po yun.
Wala. Ano yan? Merong break.
Ay, opo, safe pong inumin yung water ng Manila Water. Apo. Ina-assure po namin na hanggang metro po, ang tubig namin ay pumapasa sa Philippine National Standards for Drinking Water po. Binabantayan po yun, yung tinitest po. Meron po kaming over almost 1,000 sampling sites across our concession po.
Meron po kayong kinukolekta ng systems loss. Magkano na po ang nakukolekta ng Manila Water doon sa kanilang systems loss? Yung nawawala.
Okay. Iko-correct ko po yung notion na may kinokollect kaming systems loss.
Sa bill po kasi binabayaran po namin for systems loss.
Wala po sa bill namin. Ang nandoon po sa ang bill components po ng Manila Water ay basic charge, environmental charge, tariff po sa meter, pero wala pong systems loss. Hindi po kagaya ng sa kuryente.
Okay, sa bill, sa environmental charge, ano po, bakit po kailangan magbigay kami ng environmental charge?
Okay. Ang environmental charge po, yun po yung cost ng pag-treat ng ating wastewater. Kung mapapansin nyo po, meron po tayong deslodging na ginagawa. Yun pong sip-sip Poso Negro namin sa panggastos. Pagpapatayo po ng ating mga wastewater treatment plants po. Libre po yun every 5 years. May kipag-ugnayan lang po sa barangay po.
Oh, libre daw yung sip-sip ha. Yung sip-sip ng Poso.
Poso Negro.
Ayun.
Ano po yung fair request?
Nakaschedule po ito every 5 to 7 years, no? So, nakikipag-ugnayan po tayo sa barangay mga 3 to 4 months prior to their schedule para sa ganun sila ay makapag-information, education campaign dun sa nasasakupan ng barangay. So, ready po tayo, ready po yung mga septic tanks natin. Kasi karaniwan, sa experience din po, no, when we go to the barangays, may ibang mga households hindi alam kung asan yung septic tank nila. So, it takes a certain amount of preparation for them to locate their septic tanks. So, sa ganun, pag umikot na yung dislodging trucks ng Manila Water, ready na silang magpasipsip.
So, imbes na tumawag ka sa malabanan, doon kayo sa opisina nila kasi libre.
Ma'am, doon po sa area na nasasakupan nyo, gaano na po marami yung napasipsipan po ninyo na mga septic tank? At kailan po yung latest? Gano'n na po karami kalawa?
Pasensya na po, magre-refer kami sa notes namin, ma'am. Ito.
Meron silang sariling Google.
Manila po ba? Kasama po ba ang Manila dyan?
Meron pong portion ng Manila po, pero majority ng Manila is yung sa kabilang konsesyonaryo.
Pag-ibigit mo nga, Krigo, saan bang sakop ng Manila Water para maliwanag? Yeah.
Sagutin niya po muna yung sa wastewater.
O pag dun po sa dislodging availment, yun po yung measurement kasi natin. So as of December 2018, meron po tayong 71.28% no na dislodging availment rate no dun po sa mga nakaprogram na barangay lamang. So in terms of population po, ito ay nasa 3.5 million na customers po natin.
Saan po namin matatagpuan yung area na yan? 71.something% at saka 3.5 millions na households?
Ito po ay mula nung 2012 hanggang 2016 po pala, no, linawin ko lang po. Yung 3.5 million na population na nag-avail ng dislodging services. Pero for the year po ng 2018, ito ay 1 million.
Ang nasasakupan po ng Manila Water ay Mandaluyong, Makati, Marikina, parts of Quezon City, Pasig, Pateros, San Juan, Taguig, part of Manila, Parañaque, at saka yung probinsya po ng Rizal.
Thank you po. Pero maganda po yung ginawa niyo sa Marikina. Kasi may treatment po kayo doon eh. Nakita ko po yung process. Naglakbay, kami doon.
Apo. Ang Marikina po actually isa sa mga model cities namin kasi very cooperative po talaga yung LGU. And in fact, ang Marikina po ay 80% sewer coverage na po sila.
Alin po ba yung LGU na hindi cooperative at matigas ang ulo?
Baka gusto mo malaman, Gina, yung pinaka masipag na magpasipsip na LGU. Yun ang
Hindi, lahat naman po masipag magpasipsip, pero Marikina po talaga yung, hindi na sila kailangan magpasipsip po kasi nakakonect na sila sa sewer lines. So, hindi na kailangan yung Poso Negro, diretso na po sa treatment plant namin.
Hindi diretso sa Marikina River, ha?
Hindi po, may treatment plant po, papunta po doon.
Baka yung sewer line diretso sa dagat o sa ilog.
Yun din po ay binabantayan din po at pumapasa din po sa standards.
Bakit po sa Marikina nakapagpatayo kayo ng treatment plant? Pero sa Mandaluyong, sa Pasig, parang wala yata.
May mga challenges din po kasi, for example po, sa lupa na pagtatayuan po ng treatment plant. So, yun po, kailangan naming ipag-coordinate sa LGU kung meron po silang ma-identify na lupa na pwede natin pagtayuan kasi medyo malaki po yung kailangan na size ng ano po.
Complain na pwede? Pero bago mag-complain, kabit, kalakad. Totoo po yung sip-sip na yan, binipisyari ko. Actually, sa palo ko, problema na po talaga namin yan. Pero may umikot nga po, at timano umikot sila, na sip-sip yun sa aming matagal na ilang taon na po yun. Bagamat ang sinasabi lang mo namin, kapag talaga yung may-ano, hindi mo alam kung saan yung butas ba, kung saan nadidelay. Anyway, thank you for that. Sa tip niya, di po ako napunta sa Balabalan, ang mahal eh. Anyway, ano po reaksyon nyo sa complaint po sa lungsod ng Maynila? Marami daw po mga hukay-hukay na nagiging saninang mga traffic, pati mga pedestrian, at reklamo sa maruming tubig, kinacharge nyo. Tapos yun daw po, sabi po ng isang mga naglalabaw, sabi nila, yung konting diferensya lang, matapos mo ano po yung parang minimum, dinodoble na po. Ano po? Okay? Live together po ibig sabihin. Diba dati mo babayad ang minimum na water, konting-konti lang, wala daw justice, bigla nadodoble. Dahil paano daw po yun, parang hindi daw makatuwigan. Ano rin ang
Pagdating po sa Maynila, ito po, majority po kasi ng Maynila ay sa kabilang konsesyonaryo. Konti lang po yung portion na sa Manila Water. But for Manila Water po, yung pagdating po, I think yung unang issue is yung discolored water ba? Yung sa discolored water po, usually nangyayari yun kapag nagkakaroon ng interruption kasi medyo nabubulagbog po yung linya natin. Ang advice lang naman po natin sa customers natin buksan lang yung gripo nila tapos paagusin lang po ng mga at least 30 seconds to 2 minutes po and mawawala din po. Pero wag pong kakalimutan na sahurin din yung tubig. Gamitin natin panglinis or pangbuhos. Kasi dumadaan din po sa metro yun. And yun po kasi ang minimum charge namin nasa 155 pesos. Ang susunod, magkaiba po yun.
Yung residential nagre-reklamo.
Apo, yung residential po nasa 155 pesos, first 10 cubic po yun. Yung next po kasi na, the way kasi na ang taripa natin is, the higher the consumption, the higher din yung price to encourage po yung lower na consumption para ma-encourage po yung mga customers natin na magtipid.
Wala nang tubig, ina-charge pa rin daw.
Ang china-charge lang po ng Manila Water ay ang dumadaan po sa metro. So the moment po na walang interruption, wala rin pong dumadaan at hindi rin po tatakbo yung metro po.
Yung nga lang silang kalsada raw, at yung reklamo. Dami yung gawa-gawa, tagal-tagal. O, isang Pastillos, grabe. Pastillos. Alam mo na yan, pupunta sa tamesa na.
Opo. Pagdating po sa...
Kabauwi ng gabi o umaga, gano'n.
Opo, pagdating po kasi sa mga projects or sa mga pagbubungkal po, yun po ay kino-coordinate namin sa LGU at kami ng permit talaga. And yun ay ini-inspect at nagkaka-penalty po kami every time na magkakaroon ng violations po. So, ito naman po ay binabantayan namin maigi, pero just in case po na malagang violations, may specific concern po, pwede pong makipag-ugnayan sa amin para magawan din ng paraan ng project team namin po.
Hindi na lang, pag nagka-anunso raw, walang tubig, medyo late na, tapos merong walang anunso, nawawala ng tubig.
Yung announcement naman po, for example, yung pinatupad namin nung Thursday, pinalabas po namin yung announcement na ito noong Tuesday morning. Yung sa past po na naranasan natin na kakulangan ng tubig, yun po yung medyo talaga, nasaid talaga yung reservoir natin. So, nagkaroon kami ng problema to really catch up doon sa operations namin. Which is why po, di ba nag-implement nga po si Manila ng dalawang bill waiver po, dalawang bugso ng bill waiver. Yung nagbalik po kami ng minimum charge, nag-repaid po sa ating customers for the inconvenience po.
Sabi yun ng si motor ko, dapat daw, hindi daw yung consumer ang bigyan ng problema kung hindi mating Manila dahil wala naman daw kakulangan talaga ng tubig. Dapat daw magproblema yung nagbibigay ng tubig. Hindi yung mga customer.
Sa issue po ng kakulangan ng tubig, lahat po ng datos, kahit po tingnan natin yung Angat Dam, lahat po ng comparison ng level ng Angat Dam, available po to the public. So, lahat po ng fact talaga, nagsasabing kulang po ang tubig. And in fact, yun pong supply allocation papunta po sa MWSS and effectively sa dalawang konsesyonaryo po sa Manila Water at yung kabilang konsesyonaryo. Ang normal allocation po namin ay 46 cubic meter per second. Ang natatanggap lang po namin ngayon ay 40 cubic meter per second. Kulang po ng 14% yung supply namin. So on the part po ng Manila Water na ang amin pong mandato ay mag-bid at mag-distribute ng supply ng tubig, mahirap po na binibigyan kami ng kulang na supply. Kasi kung ano lang po yung supply na binibigay sa amin, yun lang po ang matitreat namin at madidistribute sa aming mga customers.
Ang maganda balita, so far sa ngayon, wala pang rationing. Ano nangyari? Wala pang rationing.
Wala po.
Lalabas sa balita. Paano magkakaroon?
Ang nangyayari po ngayon is interruption. Kaya po natin ginagawa itong pagmamanage ng supply natin para maiwasan po yung rationing.
Can I ask kung meron areas na pinapadalhan kayo ng mga water tanks, lalo na yung sa mga matataas na lugar sa Mandaluyong? Sa ngayon, wala pa tayong dinedeploy na water delivery tankers. Kasi so far, bukod sa wala po nagre-request, no, in place po yung mga line boosters natin para dun sa mga matataas na area. And in relation dun po sa compliance, ito yung tinasabi natin kanina, 100% naging accurate yung schedule natin. So, hindi kinailangan na magpadala ng water tankers. And then, sa mga hospitals ba, kasi yun yung mga isa sa mga naapektuhan ng malala nung the previous water crisis, meron ba tayong arrangements to ensure na hindi talaga sila mawawalan ng tubig at any time kahit na may water service interruption?
Ayun po. Pagdating po sa mga water service interruption, priority po talaga namin ang hospitals, lalong-lalo na po yung dialysis centers. So, every time na meron tayong interruption, yung mga tao po namin, well-coordinated po dun sa administration nila para po mabigyan, abiso kami agad every time na magkakaroon sila ng problema. And meron po kaming standby na tankers po para sa kanila.
Aside from dun sa tankers, no, meron din tayong dineploy at that time na static tanks, no, para dun sa mga hospitals who do not have enough storage, no, yung capacity no overhead tanks nila maliit na, no. So yun, isa sa mga augmentations or support na nilend po natin ay mag-provide ng static tanks kung saan dun po nagre-refill yung water tanks kung kailangan.
So, hindi wala ng tubig kahit may service interruption.
Dapat hindi po. Lalo na yung mga dialysis center na gumagamit ng malinis na tubig. Very critical sa kanila yung paggamit ng malinis na tubig.
And then, speaking of malinis tubig, wala naman so far na parang yung mga madumi na tubig or yung mga brownish na tubig na lumalabas. Any complaints about that?
So far, wala pong major complaints on discoloration kasi si Manila Water naman po, kahit po wala kaming service interruption, ay continuous po yung paglilinis namin, pagpa-flush ng mga linya namin, just to make sure na malinis po yung nasa loob ng network namin po.
So far, yung aming katulong, yung aming kasambahay, ang kinainom ay grape juice. Galing sa gripo. Wala nang problema.
Alam mo, lakay.
Grape juice.
Ilan yung, ano nyo ngayon, mga conscious nila, mga sa plastic, ilan nila?
Ang two customers po nila water, 7 million po.
7 million. Sa servisyo, anong lamang nyo sa Manila Water?
Anong service?
Ano ang lamang nyo?
Pagandaan.
Nawala sa Manila Water.
Tubig.
Mas maganda. Mas maganda.
Ano lamang nyo sa Manila?
Kasi po hindi ako masyado familiar po sa performance ng Maynilad. Ang pwede ko pong i-share ay ang may pagmamalaki po ng Manila Water ay kung ano na po ang na-improve ng Manila Water simula po nung nasa gobyerno pa po ito. So, for example po, in terms of service coverage, dati po nung nasa gobyerno pa po ito ay 26% lamang ang population na merong tubig. Sa ngayon po, almost 100% for Manila Water. And opo. In terms of system losses naman po, dati po 63% ng supply natin ay nawawala sa tagas po. Ngayon po, ang Manila Water ay 7% po, ang non-revenue water, which is why ito po yung major na dahilan kung bakit. Actually po, nung nakuha namin yung concessionaryo, 1997, 22 years ago, 3 million lang po ang customers ni Manila Water. Same supply na Angat Dam, ngayon po na 7 million, pareho lang po ang supply na natatanggap namin noon, pero napagkasya po namin sa aming mga customers, primarily because yung mga tagas ay inayos namin, nirehabilitate namin yung aming network para maibigay na supply sa customers.
Ano reaction niyo? Dahil sabi ni Raja Arellana, pinati-take over ng government yung dalawang water companies. Aside ng Manila Water, anong reaction niyo?
May kontrata po yun at lahat naman ng calls po, mga panawagan para i-review. Ang ma-expect naman po ng public from Manila Water is that makikipag-cooperate po kami kung ano man yung proseso, yung assessment. Pero ang gusto ko lang pong anuhin is that maganda po ang serbisyo ng Manila Water. Kasi ang sinasabi doon is bulok ang serbisyo, ibalik na lang sa gobyerno. Mahirap po kasi yung statement na bulok ang serbisyo. Lahat po ng performance ng Manila Water, naka-grade po kami, naka-rate po kami. Every month, nagpapadala po kami ng performance namin sa MWSS, sa gobyerno. Every quarter, every year, nire-rate po kami. At every time na meron po kaming hindi may hit na target, nape-penalize po kami. So, lahat naman po ng performance namin ay well-published and pwede pong hingin to state na maganda po ang performance ng Manila Water. Kung ang sinasabi po ngayon is yung 24 hours na availability, mahirap po i-ensure talaga ngayon na kulang po ang supply. Ang mandato po kasi talaga ng Manila Water is to treat and distribute. Ang problemang nararanasan natin ngayon ay kakulangan sa supply at ang solution po ay pag-develop ng new water source, which is ito po ay responsibility ng gobyerno po.
Paano yung supply and demand? Hindi naman tumataas kapag kulang supply. Ang presyo, hindi na babago.
Ang presyo po?
Kasi kapag kailangan ng kulang ng supply, malaki demand, hindi ba nababago ang presyo?
Ang taripa po ay predetermined po every 5 years na rate rebasing. Opo. So ang last po natin na rate rebasing ay naaprubahan noong 2018, last year pa po bago po mangyari itong water supply shortage. So yung yearly po na taripa ng Manila Water predetermined na po, last year po yun.
Ang isa sa nakikita kong solusyon sa problema natin ay maturuan yung tao na magtipid ng tubig.
Tama po.
Ako, consumer ako. Paano ako matututong magtipid ng tubig? Halimbawa, pag pumasok ako sa CR, mag-flush ako, 10 liters agad yung nakukonsumo kong tubig. Samantalang pwede naman na 3 liters lang. Paano nyo kami matutulungan sa bagay na yun? Ang nabibili namin mga tangke, 10 liters ang binidispose.
Okay, no? So, meron tayong maaaring mga i-share na tips, no? Kung paano magtipid ng tubig. Unang-una, yung common na alam natin lahat, yung pagre-recycle ng tubig. So, ito ay na-mention na kanina ni Cree na yung prioritization ng gamit natin, and after natin magamit yung tubig na yun, dun sa mga basic na pangangailangan, ito ay maaaring gamitin pa para dun sa ibang mga bagay. Recycle ng tubig. Pangalawa, yung tinatawag natin na water audit. Water audit, ito po yung sinusuri natin yung ating reticulation o yung tubo natin sa loob ng bahay para tayo mismo aware kung saan maaaring merong tagas. So ito kasi is instead na ito ay nagiging losses for both our parts, ito ay nagagamit and nasa-store natin. So ito po yung tinatawag na water audit. Kasama rin po sa water audit yung pag-check po ng mga flush. Kung 'di ba karaniwan po kasi ng tagas is nakikita talaga sa flush. Oo, kasi instead na 3 liters lang siya kada flush mo, nagiging 5, nagiging 10 liters. So ito ay medyo aksaya po para sa isang maliit na gamit po lamang, no. Aside from doon, meron din po ang tawag dito yung mga rain catchers, no, kapag kung may ulan nga lang, no, ito ay may meron kang parang sa alulod, meron kang sinasalok, no? Pero importante at very effective po talaga yung water recycling and then yung water audit. No? As a consumer, you act responsibly kung saan dumadalo yung tubig mo, and kung yung tubig na yun na dumadalo din sa reticulation is nagagamit mo rin talaga.
Well, yung water audit, Ano, water audit?
Water audit.
Akala ko kasama na yun sa pagtatanong mo sa yung kasambahay. Oy, bakit 3 beses na maligo ngayon? Diba? Oy, diba na, bakit ka sumabay sa sir mo na naligo? Di ba? Water audit.
Siguro magandang i-suggest, huwag bumili na sa standard quality ng mga yes. Kasi hindi tumatagal yun At yung sa una, makakatipid ka. Okay. Yung wear and tear, bilis na.
Lalo na kung naka-expose po ito sa sunlight at plastic po ito po ay prone sa pagiging brittle afterwards.
Discriminating, huwag bumili na made in China. Mura Ang mura, yari ka.
O yung PVC or yung HDPE po na
PVC.
tinatawag natin.
Kasi
Alam mo, nabibreak, palala magbalakas ang pressure. Pag-lahat, patay. Hindi lumalabas. At then, siguro, parang naglalamat-lamat.
Ang
Siguro nag-umpisa ang problema ng leak.
Nagkakaroon po ng ganun kapag matagal po itong naka-expose sa sunlight, no? Kaya as much as possible, dapat nakabaon to sa lupa.
Hindi, miski nakabaon sa tagal. Minsan nagkakaroon lang siya. Minsan lang kaya ng pressure.
Kaya pre, naalala ko, many years ago, nagkaroon ng debate. Ano ba dapat na gamitin tubo? Yung steel o yung PVC? Di ba? Parehas na may, parehas na may disadvantage yan, di ba?
Hindi, tukoy na naman yung mga class A. Yung mga magagandang class A. Kaya may presyo. Ano ba standard dapat? Kasi dyan yung presyo.
Pareho naman pong standard yun, yung PVC and steel.
May hardware din ba
Di
yung
ba pwede bigyan nyo ang consumer na huwag gagamit dito.
Ano advice ninyo?
Ito ang standard na basa sa Maynila. Ano kayo? Pagkakala kayo ng leakage kayo sa
yung mga water pipe ba? Na suggested.
Kaya nga tama-tama itong mga bisita natin, yung mga technical spokesperson. Ang kanilang mga pangano, mga technical spokesperson.
Hindi mo kailangan napaka-technical Sa presyo na lang, alam mo, mahina yung pinili mo.
Basta may di China,
Yung Rico, alam mo na yun, di ba?
Oo.
Speak mo na, mas skip yun. Sa tapos ng araw, iikot na yun, para na yung ano.
Parang,
Kasi sa kaya nga eh.
Yung leak, hindi pa kasama sa nakaw yun. Kasama sa
Process.
System loss.
ang mga leak saan po? Before the meter or after the meter po ng customer?
Yung sinasabi ng leak, okay yun sa mga sa mga linya ng mga regular na customer. Pero yung leak na ninanakaw ng mga nananakaw ng namumonitor nito.
Fire hydrant.
Opo.
Kami rin nagbabayad niya.
Namomonitor po namin yung leakage. Opo. Kasi po, nung nabanggit ko nga po kanina, ang NRW or non-revenue water po ng Manila Water, kasama po yung system loss na tinatawag. 7% na lamang po ang Manila Water. Dati po itong 63%. So ginawa na namin ng paraan yon. And ang international standard po actually is, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, is 20 to 25%. And Manila Water is at 7%. Single digit po. Best in class na po itong...
Yung ginawa yung preventive para mga nakaw na tubig yung mga resolve.
Yung mga linya po namin ay pinalitan namin. Nag-invest po kami para palitan at i-rehabilitate yung mga linya. And along the way po, tama po kayo, meron kami mga nakikitang mga illegal connections na pinagtatanggal po namin. Yun pong mga managers namin, yung mga territory managers, araw-araw po umiikot yun para magbantay sa mga areas at nalalaman po namin kung sino yung possible na merong illegal connection.
Yung mga sinisip-sip ng fire sa mga sino nagbabayad?
Wala pong customer na nagbabayad doon kasi hindi po dumadaan sa metro ng customer yun, yung tubig na yun.
Out of vigilant tip eh, no?
May share lang ako sa inyo sa palo. Hindi naman Manila Water sa palo, hindi na. Loko to yung mga construction ng contractor. Sa gabi, bibigyan sila sa gabi. Itatap nila yung bago ubusan. Libre na yun. Namimigay pa yun. Ganun naman nagiging leakage.
For Manila Water po kasi, we make sure na yung projects po namin, merong empleyado naming nagbabantay kahit gabi po ito. So, naiiwasan po yung mga ganung pangyayari.
No, isa na lang. may reklamo po, kahit dito sa Luzon ng Manila, ano pa talaga dapat gawin sa mga poso? Kasi meron pa rin silang mga poso sa loob ng kanilang bakuran. Meron mga poso na yung may mga dapat daw sa inaalis, maging dobat na ba? Ano ba talaga? Sa ngayon po, ano ako?
Sa batas po natin talaga, sa Metro Manila, pag meron ka pong deep well, kailangan mo pong mag-apply ng permit sa NWRB para ma-operate po. So kapag wala ka pong permit, hindi nyo po pwedeng i-operate yun. So even si Manila Water, nung height nung crisis na kailangan naming mag-operate ng aming mga deep wells, as early as 2017 po, nag-apply na kami ng permit sa NWRB kasi hindi po namin siya pwedeng basta-basta ipaandar yung mga deep wells natin. So yun po ang basic rule. Kailangan po, ikaw ay mag-apply ng permit sa NWRB. Bakit po? Kasi po si NWRB, ina-assess niya kung kaya pa ba nung aquifer sa ilalim po na pinagkukunan ng deep well. Kasi po may tendency, kapag po na-deplete na yung tubig sa ilalim, maaaring po magkaroon ng land subsidence. Yung bahay mo rin mismo, baka bumagsak kapag po nahalo po yung sa ilalim.
Ba't hindi kayo sumbong sa LGU? Nakakasama.
Ang NWRB po, may mga sarili po sila kasing mga empleyado na nag-iikot at nag-check din po. So, yun po yung sistema kung bakit kailangan yun po yung trabaho din ni NWRB.
Kalbibigyan siguro yung kagaya ko na naka-check po ako ng mahusay na deep well sa Taguig. No? Yung aking deep well, ano yun pabato. At malinis. Pina-check ko pa sa NWRB. No? So, mawala na ng tubig sa lahat, ako meron pa rin. Mahusay yung aking na-checkuhan na spot.
Meron tayong narinig na reklamo kanina, no, na matagal silang nawawalan ng tubig. Pagkatapos, pagka bayaran na, ito mataas pa rin. Naisip ko kasi ganito. Pagka nawalan tayo ng tubig, pag bumalik na yung tubig, ang payo kasi nila, huwag nyo kagad gagamitin yung tubig. I-ano nyo muna, pabuhusin nyo muna, dahil madumi. Talaga naman madumi, di ba? Makikita mo parang may buhangin siya, kulay brown. So, patatagasin mo muna. Yung tumatagas na yun, di ba dumadaan sa metro?
Tama po.
O di binabayaran namin yun, pero tinatapon namin.
For Manila Water po, bihira po yung cases ng discoloration. Kasi gaya nga po ng nabanggit ko kanina, regardless kung meron kaming interruption or wala, kami po ay nagpa-flush ng aming mga linya. So, wala po kaming natatanggap na complaints from the customers na sobrang discolored yung lumalabas. So, isa po yun. And kung meron naman pong cases na ganun, ang pinapayo po namin sa aming customers is, kahit po yung pinapaagos nila na first 1 minute, 2 minutes, sahurin pa rin po, gamitin pang buhos naman or panglinis. And siguro kung maaari ko pong i-share yung actual experience ko kung bakit lumaki din yung bill ko kahit may interruption. May anak po kasi akong 3-year-old. Nung time ng interruption, hindi ko napansin, binuksan yung gripo, syempre hindi ko naman alam na nakabukas yung gripo kasi walang tubig. So, pagdating nung oras na bumalik yung tubig, nakabukas siya. So, siguro ang advice din namin sa aming mga customers is maging vigilant din po. During the time na nagkakaroon ng interruption, wag po nating iiwanan na nakabukas yung ating mga gripo.
Totoo yan, ako na-experience ko yan. Naiwan kong nakabukas yung gripo. Ako yung huling gumamit. Pagdating ko, baha na dun sa loob.
Yung mga makukulit na mabata. Nagdagan pa. Yan naman, ladies. Matanong kayo. Tungkol sa tubig. Ang sabi nila, mas maigi pa yung mawalan ka ng tubig. Mas maigi pa yung mawalan ka ng kuryente kaysa mawalan ka ng tubig. Totoo ba yun? Totoo ba? Wala akong napapagiging sagot Mas maigi pa yung mawalan ka ng kuryente kaysa sa mawalan ka ng tubig.
Mukhang wala pa silang tanong tungkol sa tubig. Segue muna tayo.
Segue, sige. Segue.
Pag-usapan natin yung problema ng ating mga kasamahan sa media. Siguro naman narinig. Total, ikaw ang Pangulo ng National Press Club.
Sige.
Baka pwede mong matulungan yung ating mga kasamahan. Gina, Gina, ano ba si Gina?
Yung
Gina,
pumalit
ano
na
ba yung problema natin sa ano? Sabi mo nga kay
sa opisina.
Lakay.
Nakita ko na sa Facebook yan. Ha? Pinalayas kayo ng yung bagong LCFPO chief.
Oo, yun nga ang naging problema. Bagong NCRPO chief, mukhang medyo natarayan sila. Pinaalis sila dun sa kanilang opisina, yung kanilang press corps. Medyo nagtampo yung ating mga kasamahan, mga babae.
Gina, kwento mo. Pangalan pala nito Default Sinas. Sige, Gina. Ayaw mo muna? Well, nalala ko nung araw sa LTO, noong panahon ni Virginia Torres, nung siya'y hepe ng LTO, pinalayas din yung mga media nag-cover sa LTO. Kasi ang sabi niya, wala kaming, ang gobyerno, sabi niya, hindi obligasyon ng gobyerno na magtayo ng isang press office. Diba? Ang sistema, di ba? Parang impyado, di ba? Pero yung magkaroon kayo ng opisina within the LTO, hindi ko gagawin yun. Kasi siyempre, ang magbabayad, kuryente, tubig, LTO, di ba? Kung gusto niyo magkaroon ng hiwalay na opisina para sa press, umupo kayo sa labas, no? Pero yung magtayo kayo, pero yung bibigyan namin kayo ng opisina within the LTO, hindi ko gagawin yun. So, napalaya sa media doon sa LTO. Ngayon naman, yan sa NCRPO, sabi si Rambo, ikwento mo nga, ikaw ang nandun nung nagkaroon ng konfrontasyon ang NCRPO chief at saka mga membro ng NCRPO press. Totoo ba pinapalayas na kayo mula sa opisina ng NCRPO press?
Pirang director ng NCRPO Press Club. Director official ako. Ang sabi ni General Debold Sinas, hanggang October 30 na lang kayo sa NCRPO dahil gagamitin itong NCRPO satellite para sa mga district director na pag-uusapan namin ng mga programa ng mga pulis sa buong Metro Manila. Sabi ni Sinas, ngayon papaano kami? Si Sinas ay NCRPO, bago lang to, kapalit ni Eliasar, nakaklase naman ni Eliasar. Ang sabi niya, kung gusto ninyo, doon kayo magpe-press corps sa club sa Bikutan dahil nandoon yung NCRPO sa Bikutan. Pwede kayo doon, bibigyan ko kayo ng opisina ron sa Bikutan. Ang reklamo, ang layo kasi ng Bikutan, karamihan sa sentro sa Quezon City. Doon lang yung Quezon City Press Club. Ang inireklamo, bakit hindi binigyan ng isang buwan para karaka 30 days kagad yung palugit. At isa pa, yung sa media, ayaw niya yung ambush interview. Ayaw din niya ng phone patch. Ayaw din niya, ang daming ayaw. Ayan ang gusto mo, sir. Kung gusto mo, ila-live guest kita. Kaya ni-live ko sa guest. Gusto niya, naka-schedule. Lahat naman, i-schedule nyo sa TV, basta naka-schedule. At ayaw niya pagkatapos ng press conference, ganito halimbawa, pagkatapos ng press con, i-ambush interview nyo. Ayaw niya yon. Kaya no comment siya, ang payag niya. Mapapahiya lang yung media. Yun ang sabi niya. So yung impression ng media, parang hindi siya malapit sa media kumpara sa mga nakaraang district director na talagang open anumang oras pwedeng interviewon katulad ng Eliasar at iba pa. Siya, iba yung pamamaraan niya sa pag-approach at katulad ng ginagawa niya sa Region 7 sa Cebu, ganun yung pag-approach niya. Ang ikinasama lang namin, sinama ko director bilang director ng NCR Press Club ay October 30 kung ang mga relocation ng mga squatter sa informal settlers may mga palugit bago palayasin, bago lilipat, merong paglilipatan, pero dito bakit biglaan? ang pagpapaalis. Yun ang damdamin ng NCRPO Press Club. Kung bakit kagad-agad na pinaalis at hindi binibigyan pa ng mahabang-habang panahon, kahit isang buwan, para kahit papano makahanap. At doon sa Taguig-Bikutan, ang layo naman doon. Maraming mga nakatira sa Maynila at sa Quezon City na sentro namin yung Pamuning. Kaya doon. Sabi naman ni Senas, bigyan natin ng kanyang panig, sabi naman niya, dito sa press con, pwedeng ma-interview habang yung mga 5 district, kaya Voltis 5 ang sinasabi niya doon sa Voltin 5 kasi paborito niya, pwedeng mga 5 district pwedeng ma-interview. Yun ang paborito niya, yung Voltis 5 na pwedeng ma-interview pagkatapos ng press conference. Bawat district director ng Metro Manila pwede nilang makapanayam direkta. Doon sa Kamuning, direkta. Yung mga accomplishment daw ng mga district director nila, hindi na kailangang siya pa daw ang mag-interview, kundi doon mag-itatanong doon sa mga district director na. Sila na yung may credit, hindi daw siya. Yun ang sinasabi niya.
Tanong Rambo, ikaw yung opisyal ng NCRPO
Press Club.
Press Club. Okay ba sa'yo na ilipat yung opisina ng Press Club sa
ako ang tatanungin, General Senas, personal ko ito, hindi talaga gusto ko, personal comment ko, hindi talaga ako gusto. Bakit? Ang layo yung usapan ng malayo. Kung akong tututol, talagang hindi ako po pwede dahil ang pinakarason ko kung bakit tututol ako, yung malayo. Yan ang totoo, yan ang personal ko, sa totoo lang, malayo talaga. Ayaw ko. Ano?
May tanong kay Sinas kung bakit lang nilalayo at siya ayaw niya doon sa
Ang sinabi niya, wakit tinanong ko kung bakit nilalayo, ang sinabi niya, para daw mabibigyan ang lahat ng mga opisyal ng district, bawat distrito, district director ng EPD, MPD, na maibigay yung kanilang side. Yan daw, hindi na personal, kundi para sa personal na ang paglilingkod, malaman din ng taong bayan yung mga accomplishment ng bawat district director. Yun ang sinasabi. Ang sabi naman niya ay mas mainam daw dahil sentro malapit daw, maraming makakarating na mga mamahayag doon kung gusto nilang i-cover.
Chris Bon, ano masabi mo?
60 raw ng pagkakaiba ni General Cesar at ni masasabi mo yun. Ano masasabi mo namin mo doon?
Kung pag-uusapan sa panig ng mga mamahayag, napakalayo. Siguro 10% ang i-score ko. Mababa.
Ano yung identity yung bagong NCRPO chief? Ito ba may binabagong tinatawag niya?
No comment muna.
reaction na lang nung nahulog siya sa upuan.
Bakit na? Inatanda Nag-viral nag-viral.
Nag-viral yun, di ba?
Bakit ka?
No comment pa rin ako.
Ano? Nahulog?
Di ba magbigay ng statement ng National Press Club dyan, sir?
Well, hindi pa namin
okay, so maliwanag na.
Hindi ko pa nakakausap si Sinas. Siguro ang gagawin namin sa National Press Club at makipag-ugnayan kami sa NCRPO. Kaya na binanggit mo, kailangan malaman din namin ang panig ni Depol Sinas bago kami makapag-desisyon. Balik tayo sa tubig. Balik tubig tayo, balik tubig.
Apo. Yung mga kulungan naman po kasi, actually, despite na mayroong interruption, kasi nangyayari yung interruption natin from 9 p.m. tapos sa madaling araw, medyo hindi po siya disruptive and maiksi po yung oras. So, enough naman yung time, yung cistern tank nila po, yung imbakan ng tubig, para makapuno kung ano man yung kakulangan doon sa period na interruption po.
Pakay niyo ba dito paghahanda sakali ba kayo rin? Pakay niyo po na inform niyo mga customer na hindi din
Opo, kasi po ano po ng Manila Water talaga is agarang pagbibigay ng information sa ating customer. Opo. Wala, ano pa po, ngayon naman kasi, ang ginagawa natin na to is proper management ng supply para maiwasan po natin yung rationing. So, minamanage talaga natin yung limited na supply sa Angat Dam.
I-assure natin enough ba yung supply sa Pasko?
Itong ginagawa natin pong ito ay para po maging enough po siya. At hindi po maging mas malala pa po yung problema natin sa mga darating na buwan po. Lalong-lalo na po sa summer.
Ito pala panimula, kailangan magtipid para umaba yung supply.
Yes po.
Ito natin sabihin.
Opo.
Ang mga malls ho ba, meron silang sariling source ng tubig o sa inyo rin sila nagsosource?
Lahat po ay galing sa amin.
Meron na kayong, ngayon sa water interruption or issue, ano ho ang special arrangement nyo with the malls? Pareho rin sila sa regular consumer?
Yes po, 100% po ng aming customers, kay ordinaryong mamamayan or merong malaking business po, ay lahat po affected.
Yun nga lang, mas capable sila mag-store.
Meron kasi silang cistern.
O, paano ho yan? Sinasabi nyo sa mga consumer, huwag kayong masyadong mag-store ng sobra-sobra. Paano yung malls ngayon?
Meron din po kasi,
storage nila.
opo, si Manila Water din po in coordination with government agencies, meron kaming campaign para mag-ikot po sa aming mga customers, lalo na po sa commercial, kung ano yung mga tipid tips. Pinapayuhan din po namin sila na mag-recycle ng kanilang, kasi may sarili po silang sewage treatment plant din po.
So, sinasabi nyo ba sa mga malls na, okay, for example, dati 10 million ang reserve naman, pero dito tayo,
Ana Olgato from Sol TV Philippines Broadcasting. Tanong ko lang po, kung yung, Ana Olivato from Sol TV Philippines Broadcasting. Tanong ko lang po, kung yung billing namin, billing result namin, yung hindi nag-justify sa consumption, and then ang consumption namin, alam namin na mababa lang. Pwede ba kami mag-request from the representative ng Manila Waters to send somebody para mag-ocular dun sa mga tubo namin?
Wala pong problema po. For specific billing concerns po, kunyari po gusto nyo pong ipatest yung metro nyo po, wala pong problema, makipag-ugnayan lang po sa Manila Water at may pupunta po sa area nyo po.
Any hotline numbers po na pwede namin kontakin if in case na ganun yung case namin?
Opo. Ang hotline po ng Manila Water ay 1627. Ang social media pages po namin, pwede po magpadala ng private message po sa aming Facebook page na Manila Water. At ang aming Twitter account po ay @ManilaWaterPH.
Ma'am, pasimplihin natin, sa isang araw, ilang ba nakukonsumo lahat ng 7 million customers? Ilan? Ilang liter, ilang million liter?
Okay po. For
Sa isang araw, average.
throughout the year po kasi, paiba-iba po yung trend ng consumption. Obviously po, pag summer, mas mataas yung demand ng ating customers. Pero on the average po, ang pangangailangan ng ating customers ay 1.6 billion liters per day. Billion po.
Liters
Sa 7 million customers. Ang natatanggap po natin na supply po galing sa Angat Dam ngayon ay 1.4 billion liters per day lamang. So may deficit po tayo.
200 million
Million liters per
liters
day.
ang So So yun ang doon natin mapapaliwanag doon kasimple.
Opo.
Kailangan ng consumption natin mag-steady sa 1.4 lang.
Opo. So, effectively, ito po ay supply and demand management po. Kaya doon namin hinihingi yung cooperation ng ating customers na kahit papano, babaan din po yung consumption nila para yung paghugot natin doon sa Angat Dam, mabawasan din po.
Tumagal yung supply.
Opo, ma-maintain po natin.
Pablo Chris, I'm sorry, ito, meron tayong kaibigan na ito-broadcast na ang laging sinasabi sa pamalitan ng isang tableta, yung tubig, malilinisan. Diba? Ay, kung karumi, isang tableta lang. Ang katapat niyan. Aquatab. Aquatab, ano ba yan? Certified ba yun na talagang nakakalinis na tubig? Kaibigan ko yun. Pasensya na.
Ang Aquatab?
Aquatab.
Ito po ay panglinis?
Yes, sa radyo. Araw-araw. Araw-araw binabagay sa radyo. Inulubog mo na ikano mo, malilisan.
Medyo hindi po ako familiar doon lakay, pero kami naman po sa Manila Water ay sinisigurado namin na ang tubig na i-distribute namin ay pasado po sa Philippine National Standards for Drinking Water. So, hindi po natin kailangan ng mga ganong solusyon, di ba?
Pero kala kaya, sa promo, sa demonstration nila, sinasabi nila, hindi daw malinis sa tubig, galing gripo. Kaya kailangan bilhin daw yung kanilang produkto.
Gripo sa loob ng bahay po.
Yung lumalabas na binabayaran nila, sinasabi nila, kailangan ito kasi ito, tubig galing doon sa gripo ng, hindi na natin babanggit kung Manila Water. Tap water na na. Pagdating ng gano'n, sabi nila, tingnan mo, saka pag pinadaan mo sa produkto namin. So, ang mata, nag-isip tuloy, malinis nga ba o hindi?
Ang garansya po ni Manila Water is pasado po ang ating tubig sa PNSDW hanggang Metro po. Ngayon po, kung yung sinubukan natin na pagtetest ng tubig is after the meter, hindi na po namin yun magagarantya kasi maaaring yung tubo natin sa loob ng bahay is maaaring corroded na po, lalo na kung ang gamit natin yung galvanized iron na tinatawag. So, or kung meron po tayong infiltration na tinatawag, kung saan dahil may mga leaks po yung mga tubo natin sa loob ng bahay, ito ay maaaring pinapasok ng maduduming contaminants.
Pero diba, nag-brown nga di ba? Tapos meron ng announcement na pwede daw inumin yun kahit brown.
For Manila Water po, wala po kami na-encounter na cases na yung brown po na water. And siguro po to add lang din sa sinabi ni Kring regarding sa quality ng tubig, 22 years na po ang Manila Water. Pero I bet po meron po kaming mga customers na direct from the tap umiinom po. And sila po ay patunay na safe po to drink yung ating tubig.
Sa opisina po, in fact, bisita po kayo sa aming opisina, ang aming mga water dispenser doon ay from the tap. At ito po ay iniinom ng mga empleyado.
Lahat kayo imbitado sa opisina para uminom ng tubig direct from their gripo. Kasi sila mismo ay umiinom ng kagaya ng kasambahay namin. Maniwala kayo sa kasambahay namin. Ang iniinom, grape juice. Tubig galing sa gripo. Okay. Any more questions? Gentlemen, ladies, pasalamatan natin ang ating mga sponsors, Chavez, Chito Chavez, Potpot, at saka si Mrs. na kailan na nag-birthday. Ma'am Maribel, kailan na nag-birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you. At of course, salamat din sa Pagcor. At salamat sa ating dalawang mahuhusay at maganda at mga batang-bata na para sa kabila. Na mga spokesperson ng Manila Water. Kilala rin si Grace Laksa. Baka magalit sa akin. Okay.
Sa amin pong mga customers, kami po ay humihingi ng dagdag na pangunawa at kooperasyon po sa panahon ngayon na nakakaranas tayo ng limitadong supply ng tubig. Kami po ay nagsasagawa ng rotational water service interruption sa amin pong service areas para po masustain natin at ma-ensure po natin na meron tayong sapat na supply sa mga darating na buwan. Ang mga schedule po ng service interruption ay maaari nyo pong makita sa aming social media pages. Ang aming pong Facebook page ay Manila Water at ang amin pong Twitter account ay @ManilaWaterPH. Sa amin pong mga customers, maka-ensure po kayo na si Manila Water ay ginagawa lahat ng paraan para po ma-ensure na kung ano man po yung limited supply na natatanggap natin ay equitable po yung distribution across our service areas. And makakaasa rin po kayo na patuloy kami makikipag-ugnayan sa ating gobyerno para magawa na po yung mga new water sources natin na ito po talaga ang makatugon sa nararanasan natin ngayon.
Ng tubig, no? Pinapaalala lang po natin na yung pag-iipon natin sana ay sapat lamang po sa ating pangangailangan during the time na or during the windows wherein may interruption po tayo sa ating mga bahay. So, kung meron po tayong mga katanungan regarding sa inyong mga service interruption schedule, aside from our Facebook page and website, you can also reach us through our hotline which is 1627.
Again, salamat muli sa ating dalawang K. Si Kri at si Kring. Ayaw na. Ayaw ko na ng ambos interview. Tapos na. Para akong si Para akong si Sinas, si Default. Oo nga naman. Ba't di kita ng lahat? Pwede pa rin. Siyempre. Pwede ba? Photo po na. Palakpan muna natin ating mga guests. Ito muna palakpakan. Yan. Photo po na. Bago nyo yung kapag interview.
Talino na, maganda pa.
Oh, yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
Pero ang po, ano naman nangyayari pagka hindi yung mali sa Rambo? Rambo, pag hindi yung mali sa Rambo?
Si Laguna Lake, doon po kumukuha yung aming Cardona treatment plant. Sa ngayon po ay pwede po kaming kumuha ng 100 million liters per day doon or equivalent po sa daily consumption ng 500,000 katao. Ngayon po yung East Bay po, doon din po kukuha. Yun po yung sa 2021 to 2023 in phase 1 and phase 2 po. So, minamaximize naman siya, kaya lang po, hindi po pwedeng walang limit ang pagkuha natin ng tubig, ng paggamit. Kailangan po i-limit po talaga siya.
Ang pagkakaintindi ko noon, Lakay, kaya hindi nila ginamit agad yung tubig na galing sa Laguna Lake kasi masyadong mahal yung pagproseso para magamit natin siya. So, hindi ito ginagamit noon, ewan ko lang ngayon, sabi mo ginagamit.
Tama po, as much as possible, ang Manila Water po ay gusto namin yung solusyon na pinakamura po para sa ating customers. Para po sa kaalaman kasi ng ating customers, ang Laguna Lake po na tubig, ang ginagamit namin na treatment doon ay kakaiba, reverse osmosis. Para lang po mabigyan ng, para ma-compare natin, yung ginagamit namin sa Angat Dam na treatment, mga 3 chemicals lang po yun, para maging potable water na siya. Pero pag yung sa Cardona plant na kumukuha sa Laguna de Bay, 14 chemicals po. Opo. So, as much as possible, ang gusto po talaga namin is surface water, which is yung rainwater na iniipon mo sa dam, which is yun po yung Angat Dam, as compared to mga Cardona treatment plants. Kaya lang sa panahon po na kailangan talaga natin ng tubig, kailangan natin mag-explore ng ibang solutions po.
Kasi may nagpanukala na, may nagsasabi na hindi na natin kailangan yung kaliwa pagka ma-maximize yung Laguna Lake. Kasi yung Laguna, kasi yung kaliwa, baka abutin na lang taon, baka natin magamit yan, di ba? So, in the meantime na inaantay natin yung kaliwa, i-maximize natin yung Laguna Lake.
Ang Kaliwa Dam was actually, ang sabi po ng gobyerno, ang ma-deliver po ito 2023. Ito pong Cardona treatment plant natin, na yung sa Laguna Lake nga po ay na-deliver na natin. And yung East Bay din po, by 2021 naman, which is kumukuha din sa Laguna Lake. So effectively naman po, ginagawa natin ng paraan para ma-maximize din talaga siya.
Kasi mukhang magtatagal pa yung Kaliwa kasi may away pa, di ba? Hugot ng mga IP.
Maraming tumututol.
Mga lumad, di ba?
Maraming tumututol sa pagtatayo nitong Kaliwa.
What about yung ano pala? Yung Laiban Dam? Free.
Yung Laiban po as of now, wala sa projection sa sinabi ng gobyerno na ano. Opo.
Siguro, i-open natin ang questions para sa inyo mga kapatid na may mga tanong sa ating mga bisita ngayong umaga. Lahat tayo may hugot tungkol sa tubig. Yan. So, you can ask your questions?
Q&A na. Kung may mga tanong kayo, mga kasamaan natin.
Yes.
Wala pa.
Hello. Okay. Sa Manila Water ba, nasusunod yung schedule ninyo ng yung sa water interruption so far dun sa service area? Actually, simula nung nagpatupad tayo noong October 24, we've been able to reach yung 100% compliance hit rate dun po sa schedule na aming ipinaskill sa aming mga social media page and even dun sa mga i-communicate natin sa ating mga barangay. So, nai-hit po natin siya. Okay. And then, wala ba kayong mga nababalitaan, yung mga nag-hoard ng sobra? Kasi di ba yun yung naging problem the last time na parang sobra yung ini-store nila, kaya talagang bumababa palalo yung sa water level supply. So far, ma'am, wala pa naman po nakarating na ganoong news, no? Mukhang effective naman po yung nagiging panawagan natin sa ating mga consumers sa sapat lamang na pag-iimbak ng tubig, which is enough lang sa kanilang pangangailangan from the time, within the time na meron tayong interruption. Yeah, thank you.
Isa sa mga tip dyan para makatipid, you should take a shower with somebody. Dalawa kayo dapat mag-shower ng sabay.
Good morning po.
Para kayo kung sino kasabay ninyo.
Apo, Jen Kalimon po from TV5. Yung tanong ko lang po, meron bang ine-expect na kabawasan sa billing sa tubig? Siyempre, nakaranas ng mga water interruption yung ating mga customers. So, may mga times na hindi naman nila nagamit yung tubig. So, mas madalisin yung kanilang bill ngayong buwan.
Ayun. Ang sinisingil po ng water talaga ay kung ano lang po yung dumadaan sa metro. Si Laguna Lake, doon po kumukuha yung aming Cardona treatment plant. Sa ngayon po ay pwede po kaming kumuha ng 100 million liters per day doon or equivalent po sa daily consumption ng 500,000 katao. Ngayon po yung East Bay po, doon din po kuha. Yun po yung sa 2021 to 2023 in phase 1 and phase 2 po. So, minamaximize naman siya, kaya lang po, hindi po pwedeng walang limit ang pagkuha natin ng tubig, ng paggamit. Kailangan po i-limit po talaga siya.
Ang pagkakaintindi ko noon, Lakay, kaya hindi nila ginamit agad yung tubig na galing sa Laguna Lake kasi masyadong mahal yung pagproseso para magamit natin siya. So, hindi ito ginagamit noon, ewan ko lang ngayon, sabi mo ginagamit.
Tama po, as much as possible, ang Manila Water po ay gusto namin yung solusyon na pinakamura po para sa ating customers. Para po sa kaalaman kasi ng ating customers, ang Laguna Lake po na tubig, ang ginagamit namin na treatment doon ay kakaiba, reverse osmosis. Para lang po mabigyan ng, para makompare natin, yung ginagamit namin sa Angat Dam na treatment, mga 3 chemicals lang po yun, para maging potable water na siya. Pero pag yung sa Cardona treatment plant, nagkumukuha sa Laguna de Bay, 14 chemicals po. Opo. So, as much as possible, ang gusto po talaga namin is surface water, which is yung rainwater na iniipon mo sa dam, which is yun po yung Angat Dam, as compared to mga Cardona treatment plants. Kaya lang sa panahon po na kailangan talaga natin ng tubig, kailangan natin mag-explore ng ibang solutions po.
Kasi may nagpanukala na, may nagsasabi na hindi na kailangan yung kaliwa pagka ma-maximize yung Laguna Lake. Kasi yung Laguna, kasi yung kaliwa, baka abutin pa na lang taon, baka natin magamit yan, di ba? So, in the meantime na inaantay natin yung kaliwa, i-maximize natin yung Laguna Lake.
Ang Kaliwa Dam was actually po ng gobyerno ang ma-deliver po ito 2023. Ito pong Cardona treatment plant natin na yung sa Laguna Lake nga po ay na-deliver na natin, and yung East Bay din po by 2021 naman, which is kumukuha din sa Laguna Lake. So effectively naman po ginagawa natin ng paraan para ma-maximize din talaga siya.
Kasi mukhang magtatagal pa yung kaliwa kasi may away pa, di ba? Yung hugot ng mga IP.
Maraming tumututol.
Mga lumad, di ba?
Maraming tumututol sa pagtatayo nitong kaliwa.
What about yung yung Laiban Dam? Free.
Yung Laiban Dam po as of now, wala po siya sa projection sa sinabi ng gobyerno na opo.
Siguro, i-open natin yung questions para sa inyo mga kapatid na may mga tanong sa ating mga bisita ngayong umaga. Lahat tayo may hugot tungkol sa tubig. Yan. So, you can ask your questions?
Q&A na. May mga tanong kayo, mga kasamaan natin?
Yes.
Wala pa.
Hello. Okay. Sa Manila Water ba, nasusunod yung schedule ninyo ng yung sa water interruption so far dun sa service area? Actually, simula nung nagpatupad tayo noong October 24, we've been able to reach yung 100% compliance hit rate dun po sa schedule na aming ipinaskill sa aming mga social media page and even dun sa mga i-communicate natin sa ating mga barangay. So, nai-hit po natin siya. Okay. And then, wala ba kayong mga nababalitaan, yung mga nag-hoard ng sobra? Kasi di ba yun yung naging problem the last time na parang sobra yung ini-store nila, kaya talagang bumababa pa lalo yung sa water level supply. So far, ma'am, wala pa naman po nakarating na ganoong news, no? Mukhang effective naman po yung nagiging panawagan natin sa ating mga consumers sa sapat lamang na pag-iimbak ng tubig, which is enough lang sa kanilang pangangailangan from the time, within the time na meron tayong interruption. Thank you.
Isa sa mga tip dyan para makatipid, you should take a shower with somebody. Dalawa kayo dapat mag-shower ng sabay.
Good morning po.
Para kayo kung sino kasabay ninyo.
Apo, Jen Kaliman po from TV5. Ma'am, tanong ko lang po, meron bang ini-expect na kabawasan sa billing sa tubig? Siyempre, nakaranas ng mga water interruption yung ating mga customers. So, may mga times na hindi naman nila nagamit yung tubig. So, mas malilesen ba yung kanilang bill ngayong buwan?
Ayun. Ang sinisingil po ng Manila Water talaga ay kung ano lang po yung dumadaan sa metro.
So yan mga kaibigan, at napanood nyo at napakinggan po yung ginawang balitaan sa Maynila, sa Tinapayan, sa Medapitan po, kung saan naging guest nga po yung Manila Water, kung saan tinalakay nila yung mga water interruptions, yung mga kanilang pagawain, at gayon din, hindi ko lang masyadong narinig kung sinabi ba Josh yung tungkol doon sa desisyon ng Supreme Court. At yun nga, kahapon kasi nung na-interview natin si Ma'am Craig Ibarra, ay sinabi niya na kapag sumiti na sila ng motion for reconsideration sa Supreme Court. So iniintend na lang po nila yan kung ano pa rin ang magiging desisyon ng Korte Suprema. At least nalilawan ng mga ating mga consumer ng Manila Water na kung bakit nagkakaroon ng water interruptions sa mga ibang lugar, kung bakit nagkakaroon ng interruptions, may oras, ganon, kung bakit. So para at least alam nyo, hindi kayo sabihin nagbabayad kayo, at sinabi rin naman ng Manila Water kung saan napupunta yung mga binabayad ng mga consumer doon sa kanilang mga sinisingil sa tubig. Okay, sa mga kaibigan, magpapakilala po ating himpilan at muli po kaming magbabalik at sa pagbabalik ay may papanoorin pa ko tayong video yung mga nangyaring forum sa Annabelle, singgil naman sa offer ng Russian government dito sa Pilipinas hinggil sa mga trabaho, lahat, infrastructure, etc. At mamaya papanoorin po natin. Magbabalik po kami.
Usapin, talakayin, opinyon, lilinawin kasama si Rocel Lopez, umaarangkada sa Spear Cyber TV.
What you want to do is twist off the top. You want to squirt out a very small amount. Flip the lid over and reseal it. So you can use this file 2 or 3 more times. Is tap a very, very thin layer. I'm just tapping a very thin layer on her skin, but you want to leave it about 10 or 15% damp on the skin. Do not rub it all the way in because the product works as it's drying, so you want it to allow it to do this.
Okay, I'm going to start a timer. I can't see the...
Now, you haven't seen anything yet.
You can use Instantly Ageless before or after your makeup. First of all, you want to do all your preventative maintenance and all the good stuff first.
What do you see? What are you thinking?
Okay mga kaibigan, alas 3:38 na po. Nagbabalik po tayo sa ating programang UTOL. Usapin, talakayin, opinyon, lilinawin, siyempre dito lamang sa Spear Cyber TV. At sa ating pagpapatuloy mga kaibigan, ay talakayin naman natin, panoorin yung nangyaring press conference, yung forum naman sa Annabelle's Restaurant sa QC, kung saan ay nag-alok po ang Russian government dito sa Pilipinas ng mga trabaho para sa mga Pilipino, etc. at kung ano-ano pa man. Siguro mas maganda pakinggan po natin at panoorin ang nangyaring talakayan po sa Quezon City. Panoorin po natin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our coffee hunt this Saturday, October 26th. This morning we are privileged to welcome back to the Philippines and for the first time to this forum, Ambassador Igor Kobayev, Ambassador of the Federation of Russia, who just came back from a short visit to his country to help his government welcome President Duterte during his second state visit to Russia. Ambassador Kobayev has been a friend of this forum in another forum for some time now. And today, I believe we are going to discuss a lot of very important issues. In the earlier part of October, President Duterte visited Russia for the second time. He spent some time in Moscow, but I think his most important engagement was in Sochi, near the Black Sea, at the Valdai discussion forum. Valdai apparently enjoys a very high reputation internationally, but many Filipinos, if not most of us, are hearing about this for the first time. So we'll have to ask Ambassador Igor to kindly tell us a little bit more about this very important forum, what it does, and what is its place in the conversation of nations. Mr. Ambassador, good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tatat. Good morning to everyone, of course. I'm very glad to see all of you this morning. Thank you for coming. Saturday morning, so special time. So I'm very grateful to you for all the attention you paid us. As for your question about the International Wildlife Forum, so this forum has been convened every year for already so many years. So it's a very respectable international venue for discussing the most learning. So it's a very respectable international venue for discussing the most burning international problems, both global and regional. So the most prominent experts in international affairs, leaders of many countries, attend this forum every year. And this year, President Duterte invited His Excellency President Rodrigo Duterte to come to Sochi to attend the International Wildlife Forum and to help the international community, the Russian people, to understand better the vision, the Philippine vision regarding the global and regional developments. And as far as I know, and I know that for sure, that all participants of the International Wildlife Forum were deeply impressed by the speech His Excellency President Duterte delivered, because it helped them, I'm saying again, understand better the legitimate concerns of the Philippine society, the life of Filipinos, the foreign policy pursued by the administration of President Duterte. So the approaches of the Philippines to the solution of the most important and relevant international and global issues. And in general, the recent official visit of President Duterte helped Russian people understand better the Philippines. Many Russian people discovered the Philippines as a friendly country, as a new partner of Russia in the Asia-Pacific region. And many Russian people are now highly motivated to establish new ties, new connections, new relations with the Filipinos, with the Philippines, and to explore opportunities of regional cooperation.
Your Excellency, just the other day, you offered, or you mentioned the Russian offer to have a military, light arms, modern manufacturing hub in the Philippines. Why did you make that offer? Out of friendship or out of...
To be frank, so it's very easy for me to respond to this question. We Russians, we don't want just to come to the Philippines to sell something and to leave. We want to build a robust long-term cooperation and partnership for many, many years to come. And the best way to achieve this aim is not just to supply arms and weapons, but to organize, to arrange the joint production. That's why I'm saying, so I always say that the Russian side is ready not only to sell sophisticated arms and weapons to our Philippine partners, to help your armed forces, to help your country boost your defense capabilities. We're ready to help your country in staff training. We are open for joint military exercises, and we are ready to share our technologies. Russia is a leader in the field of manufacturing arms and weapons. We have the most advanced technologies, and we are ready to share them with our Philippine partners. So it's not about only light arms and small weapons. So in our view, it should be a better step. And after that, if it's successful, so we are ready to consider all other options. That's the...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Kapihan this Saturday, October 26th. This morning we are privileged to welcome back to the Philippines and for the first time to this forum, Ambassador Igor Kobayev, Ambassador of the Federation of Russia, who just came back from a short visit to his country to help his government welcome President Duterte during his second state visit to Russia. Ambassador Kobayev has been a friend of this forum in another forum for some time now. And today, I believe we are going to discuss a lot of very important issues. In the earlier part of October, President Duterte visited Russia for the second time. He spent some time in Moscow, but I think his most important engagement was in Sochi, near the Black Sea, at the Valdai discussion forum. Valdai apparently enjoys a very high reputation internationally, but many Filipinos, if not most of us, are hearing about this for the first time. So we'll have to ask Ambassador Igor to kindly tell us a little bit more about this very important forum, what it does, and what is its place in the conversation of nations. So, Ambassador, good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tatat. Good morning to everyone, of course. I'm very glad to see all of you this morning. Thank you for coming. Saturday morning, so special time. So I'm very grateful to you for all the attention you paid to us. As for your question about the International Valdai Forum, so this forum has been convened every year for already so many years. So it's a very respectable international venue for discussing the most learning. So it's a very respectable international venue for discussing the most burning international problems, both global and regional. So the most prominent experts in international affairs, leaders of this, attend this forum every year. And this year, President Duterte invited His Excellency President Grigorov Duterte to come to Sochi to attend the International Valdai Forum and to help the international community, the Russian people, to understand better the vision, the Philippine vision regarding the global and regional developments. And as far as I know that for sure that all participants of the International Valdai Forum were deeply impressed by the speech His Excellency President Duterte delivered. It helped them, I'm saying again, understand better the legitimate concerns of the Philippine society, the life of Filipinos, the foreign policy pursued by the administration of President Duterte. So the approaches of the Philippines to the solution of the most important and relevant international and global issues. And in general, the recent official visit of President Duterte helped Russian people understand better the Philippines. Many Russian people discovered the Philippines as a friendly country, partner of Russia in the Asia-Pacific region. And many Russian people are now highly motivated to establish new ties, new connections, new relations with the Filipinos, with the Philippines, and to explore new opportunities for a mutually beneficial cooperation.
Your Excellency, just the other day, you offered, or you mentioned, the Russian offer to have a military light arms, modern manufacturing hub in the Philippines. Why did you make that offer? Out of friendship or out of...
To be honest, it's very easy for me to respond to the question. We Russians, we don't want just to come to the Philippines to sell something and to leave. We want to build a robust long-term cooperation and partnership for many, many years to come. And the best way to achieve this aim is not just to supply arms and weapons, but to organize, to arrange the joint production. That's why I'm saying, so I always say that the Russian side is ready not only to sell sophisticated arms and weapons to our Philippine partners, to help armed forces, to help your country boost your defense capabilities. We're ready to help your country in staff training. We are open for joint military exercises, and we are ready to share our technologies. Russia is a leader in the field of manufacturing arms and weapons. We have the most advanced technologies, and we are ready to share them with our Philippine partners. So it's not about only light arms and small weapons. So in our view, it should be the first step. And after that, if it's successful, so we are ready to consider all other options. That's the essence, the gist of our proposal, of our offer. But it's up to you Filipinos to decide. So we'll deeply respect any decision taken by our Philippine partners.
Looks like, Mr. Ambassador, you've been working very hard on several important projects. There's talk of nuclear energy being developed in the country. Russia is interested in that also. There are other things you're interested in. How has been the progress of your presentations to our government officials on all these projects? Are you dealing with the President directly, or are you dealing with cabinet officials, agency heads, or whatever?
Thank you for your question. It's really relevant. So I would like to say that we are working with Philippine partners at all levels, at the level of experts, with the government official, and we highly appreciate a direct support from His Excellency President Duterte. You know that Russia is an energy superpower. Not only because we have rich energy resources, but also because Russia has advanced energy technologies. By the way, I would like to remind you that exploration of oil and gas in Russia, it's not an easy matter. It's much more difficult than the exploration of oil and gas, for example, in the Middle East. Because most of oil, Russian oil and natural gas are produced in the Arctic area, under harsh climate conditions, and it requires the use of the most advanced technologies. We offer not only crude oil and natural gas. Also offer a lot of oil products and purified gas. And to help increase productivity, because as far as I know, they bring from shortage of electricity. Just for your information, the production of electricity per capita in Russia is 8 times more than in the Philippines. So we develop all kinds of electricity generation. So we use our plants based on renewables, and of course a world leader in this field. The Russian nuclear technologies are the safest and the most effective ones. So now Russia is building power plants in 30 countries around the world. Many power plants have already built, and they are functioning well. No incident reported. No incident, I'm saying again. So, and we offer the same technologies we use in our country. So that's why we are ready to help your country. But I would like to repeat that it's up to you, to Filipinos, to decide which option is the most convenient for you. By the way, we also invite Filipinos, the Philippine companies, yes, to explore oil and gas in Russia together with Russian companies. Not the exploration of oil and gas, not only here in the Philippines, but in Russia as well. On a mutually beneficial, reciprocal basis. I think it's a proposal, it's a unique offer for the Philippines. No other countries has ever made such similar offer.
Are there any takers at this point? Are there any takers from the Philippines?
So we are working on that. We are working closely with the Department of Energy and with some Philippine companies. So it's too early to disclose details of these discussions, but believe me please, all necessary efforts are being taken now.
As Ambassador, as you very well know, we decided some time ago to build a nuclear power plant. Unfortunately, because of politics, something happened to this plant. It was allowed to wither in the vine. We lost a lot of money without having produced a single watt of electricity. Now the debate continues, for or against. Can you help? Can your experts help us solve this issue in favor of this or the other side?
The Russian state-run company Rosatom, it's the only company in Russia which is responsible for the development of the nuclear power industry. So they are ready to provide the Philippine partners with any kind of help, any kind of assistance, including expertise, including investments, including sharing of technologies, in full compliance with all existing international principles, norms and rules. So in full compliance with the requirements of the International Atomic Agency.
So what do we need to get everything moving?
So it depends on our Philippine partners. So I have already said, it depends, it's up to you Filipinos to decide. If you decide to develop, to use the nuclear technology, so we'll be ready to help you. But we fully understand that it's a very sensitive issue, and it should be supported by both the government and the public opinion. So once again, it's up to you, Filipinos, to decide, and taken by our Philippine partners.
Well, President Duterte had some discussions in Moscow, or was it also in Sochi? Up to what level were the discussions pushed? Any tentative agreements?
So, President Duterte had a bilateral talk with the Russian Prime Minister, Dmitry Medvedev, in Moscow, and there was also a bilateral talk between President Duterte and President Putin in the city of Sochi. So this subject, if you talk about the use of nuclear technologies for peaceful purposes, so it was discussed in both Moscow and Sochi. So this offer was articulated from the Russian side, and it's now under consideration here in Manila.
Ambassador, on defense materials, Russia is willing to sell Kilo-class submarine to the Philippines?
So for us, there are no restrictions. If the Philippine government decides to build your own submarine fleet as archipelagic state, it's quite natural for any archipelagic state to have submarines. So we'll be ready and very glad to help you. We did the same for Vietnam. Vietnam now has its own submarine fleet. 6. So as far as I know, our Vietnamese partners are fully satisfied. So we are ready to push similar cooperation with our Philippine partners to help your country.
In our history, Philippines wanted to buy some modern defense equipment, but some countries are lobbying not to sell us some kind of modern military equipment. Will there be a single country that can lobby Russia to stop selling a modern military equipment for the Philippines?
I don't know such a country. No country can country has an impact on Russia in this respect. So we supply sophisticated arms and weapons to many different countries. For example, in Asia, from Middle East countries like Saudi Arabia, for example, yes, to China, Vietnam, India, and many other countries. And we supply arms and weapons to some ASEAN member states, including, for example, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia. So it's a very diversified policy, because everything is done in full compliance with the international law, with all existing international arms control regimes. So Russia is an absolutely independent sovereign supplier of sophisticated arms and weapons, simply because the production of our defense equipment is based on our Russian technologies. So no other country has any kind of impact on that. So in this respect, Russia is the most reliable partner for the Philippines.
So you can sell us, if the Philippine government wanted to, you can sell us a surface-to-air missile or surface-to-surface missile that is more than 300-kilometer range.
So we are ready to discuss any option of our cooperation. We are ready to discuss the option of supplying of any kind of defense equipment. So I'm not going to go into the details, because it's a quite sensitive and complicated matter, but I'm telling you about the fundamental principles of our foreign policy. And one of these principles is very simple. For us, the Philippines is an independent, sovereign state. The foreign policy of the Philippines So is in full compliance with the international law. The Philippines respects the international law. So that's why. We don't see any obstacles for our mutually beneficial cooperation in the defense and security field. And we also believe that our defense cooperation will contribute to the strengthening of region. All options are on the table.
Ambassador, Russia has the technology, Russia is willing to sell weapons they need, but if it's possible to avoid using weapons, we have to do that, and that means the diplomacy for peace must grow stronger among nations in Asia, for instance. Now, after two Philippine state visits to Russia, what can we say is the impression of the Russian people on the Philippines, first as an independent nation, second as a member of an economically and politically active community, made more active by the maritime and territorial issues in the area. And what would be Russia's best way of contributing to the development of peace in this area?
So we believe that the best way to promote peace and stability in the Asia-Pacific region is through multilateral fora, multilateral formats. We are against military alliances of any kind. By the way, we don't offer a military alliance to any country in the Asia-Pacific region. Simply because any military alliance, it's an attempt to provide a few selected countries, members of that alliance, with security to a considerable extent at the cost, at the expense of all other regional countries. So in our view, the security must be for all, equal security. Not the security for a selected few. The equal security must be for all countries. That's our fundamental approach. So that's why we are against military alliances in the region. And by the way, so any military alliance needs to have a threat, an enemy. So it means that it needs a new dividing line in the region. But it's a way to new conflicts in the future. So we believe that the policy of military alliances, so it should belong to the past, to the Cold War period. It's not a way towards our future. So that's why we need to combine our efforts to solve existing problems, territorial disputes, and something like that. So, and all of us should be patient, because there is no simple solutions. Complicated problems cannot be solved easily. So their solution requires time and joint efforts. And we have so many common threats and challenges. So, coming back about the defense cooperation between our two countries, I would like just to remind you that we have a common threat, at least one. Many common threats. First about terrorism, drug trafficking, and so on. And we can efficiently cope with this threat only if we combine our efforts. That's why it's in our national interest to help the Philippines boost your defense capabilities, to help your country struggle more efficiently against terrorism, because terrorism is a threat for all of us. And our common threats should help us solve other existing problems.
How does this jibe with the call for demilitarization of certain areas or denuclearization of certain areas? Mr. Ambassador.
May I kindly ask you to clarify the so-called certain areas?
the big C.
If you are talking about the Korean Peninsula, of course, it should be denuclearized. It's beyond doubt.
South China Sea.
But to be frank, so I have no information about nuclear weapons in the South China Sea. But as for the Korean Peninsula, of course, this area should be denuclearized. And Russia is making, so our country, so we are making our own contribution to that process.
Ambassador, my question is about what you mentioned, alliance. Of course, Philippines have an allied countries, and we are all familiar with what happened with F-35 and S-400 somewhere in Europe, of offering your latest military technology to the Philippines, while we are being an ally of some countries that can have a good look of the guarded secret of your military equipment.
So my answer will be short and concise. No, we are not afraid. As for your traditional partners and allies, so I have already articulated my position in public a few times, so that's your right to choose. That's a sovereign right of the Philippines to choose your partners and allies. And we always respect your choice. But at the same time, your traditional allies and partners must respect the decision, the choice, the commitment of the Philippines to build a new partnership, so to look for new partners, including Russia.
And on oil exploration between Russia and the Philippines in West Philippine Sea. Of course, we know what happened. Vietnam-India oil exploration. Somebody is protesting. Have you foresee that somebody will, Philippines will have a joint exploration project somewhere in South China Sea?
So we believe that it's possible to find mechanisms, forms and schemes of cooperation which will be acceptable for all countries concerned. We have a lot of experience of joint oil exploration with Vietnam in the South China Sea, for example, and we can use this positive experience here in the Philippines. So joint oil and gas exploration in the South China Sea, it was an offer of our Philippine partners, so we are ready to consider and discuss this option on the basis of our experience of similar cooperation with Vietnam, for example. Once again, I would like to draw your attention to the history of our bilateral cooperation with Vietnam. So the Vietnamese army, the Vietnamese armed forces, so they are equipped with Russian arms and weapons for at least 90%. And the Vietnamese armed forces are highly capable. And the former Soviet Union and has never interfered into internal political affairs of Vietnam. Vietnam is a sovereign independent state. And Russia and Vietnam, they have been cooperating in the oil and gas field for a few decades in the South China Sea. So why shouldn't we, Russia and the Philippines, use this positive experience? Why not? And I believe that, we believe that it will be a contribution to the regional peace and stability. These economic cooperations will help find reasonable solutions to existing political problems.
Ambassador, if you don't mind, I'd like to go back to the President's statement in Sochi. You are quite generous in giving praise to the President's performance in that forum. But his opening statement said that Philippine foreign policy hardly evolved for 2 decades after the end of the Cold War. Russia, for instance, remained on the margins of Philippine diplomacy. Those were his words. Do you feel the Russian government agrees that Russia was kept on the margins of Philippine foreign policy during this 20 years after the end of the Cold War? Would the Russians be able to say that they kept the Philippines at the center of Russian diplomacy while Russia was kept in diplomacy? Now, it will be recalled, Mr. Ambassador, that we entered into diplomatic relations with the Soviet Union in '76, in the middle of the Cold War. In '75, we entered into relations with China. So the two most powerful communist countries we had relations with. In 1991, which is the end of the Cold War, when the Soviet Union broke up into 15 separate republics, we closed down all American military bases in this country. And that was the biggest foreign policy change anywhere in the world in the last 100 years. So can we possibly say that Philippine foreign policy had evolved and that this has prejudiced our relationship between the Philippines and Russia?
Thank you very much for your question. Because of course, before, while we are exploring new ways and methods how to make our two nations closer to each other, of course, we should be able to objectively analyze what has happened in the past. I have to say that, despite of the fact that the diplomatic relations between our two countries were established in 1976, so between the then Soviet Union and the Philippines, but unfortunately, so the Philippines, diplomatically speaking, has never been in the focus of the Soviet and then Russian foreign policy. After the dissolution of the former Soviet Union in December 1991, so Russia, so the Russian government, the Russian society, so they focused on our internal domestic problems. So we had a bulk of domestic problems. Believe me, please, it was one of the most difficult periods in the history of Russia, especially the 90s, the 1990s. At that time, just for your information, at that time, even the relationship between Russia and Vietnam, our closest ally and partner in the region, were at very low level. But now the situation is different. Russia is developing well. Russia, my country reestablished its power, its influence, power in a positive sense of view, of course. So the economy is developing quite well, despite all the sanctions imposed on Russia by Western countries. So, and we are living, all of us, we are living in the interdependent world. all of us depend on each other. We have so many common problems, common threats. Once again, so no country, small or big, is able to efficiently cope with current threats on its own. We need to combine our efforts. And you know, so Russia is a Eurasian country. 2/3 of our big territory belong to Asia. In this respect, Russia and the Philippines are neighbors, because both our countries belong to the Asia-Pacific region. And Russia objectively needs new partners, new friends in the region. And the Philippines is a big country, more than 100 million people. So we consider the Philippines as a major player in the Asian-Pacific affairs. So it's quite natural for us to look for new partners, new friends, including the Philippines. And we see an objective need of your country to diversify your foreign policy. I always explain that diversification means keeping, preserving the old partners and friends and getting new ones. No contradiction at all. We are not going to replace anyone here in the Philippines, but we are ready to become a new additional partner and friend. That's what the diversification means. So it's a natural objective need for both Russia and the Philippines to become close friends and new partners. And I believe it's very realistic. That's why it's time to open up new horizons. It's time to explore new opportunities for our mutually beneficial cooperation on different tracks and in different fields. It's time to help Filipinos and Russians to become closer to each other. Because we Russians and Filipinos, we have a lot in common. I have already spent in your country as a Russian ambassador for 1.5 years, and I'm deeply convinced that Russians and Filipinos, they deserve to be reliable partners and close friends. But nothing can be done automatically. We need to take a lot of efforts. We need to explore new opportunities. In the past, many opportunities were lost, were missed, unfortunately. But now we have really promising prospects. And 2 official visits of His Excellency President Duterte to Russia, and I hope a return official visit by President Putin to the Philippines in the future. So it's it clearly shows that all of us are on the right track. So once again, so I believe we, Russia and the Philippines, we need each other to make the life of Russians and Filipinos better and safer.
We support that statement, Mr. Ambassador, and we're looking forward to an expanded cultural relationship between our two countries and peoples. There was a time when Russian artists were performing in the Philippines on a regular basis. We had the Bolshoi coming here, we had Nureyev, we have Barnistikov, Plesetskaya coming here, and all this. And I was information minister, I had the pleasure of escorting Yevtushenko to a Malacanang dinner. And well, I also received the first TASS and Prava correspondence in Manila. If these ties could be restored, and they can build on this cultural greatness within our two countries. I look forward to your proposal for an extended relationship. But I think at this point I'd like to ask, after 2 state visits to Russia, don't we deserve a return visit from President Putin to the Philippines soon?
So I'm not in a position to talk about specific dates of that visit. What I can say is that President Duterte officially invited President Putin to visit the Philippines. Unfortunately, the head of our state has never visited your country yet. I can only regret. So you see, this visit is very important. So the invitation of President Duterte was accepted by President Putin with gratitude. So at this moment I can only express my hope that this visit will be paid as soon as possible. When, to be frank, so I don't know. So, but we'll do our best to arrange this visit as soon as practicable and privately, just between us, confidentially.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador.
It's a dream of mine as ambassador.
Thank you very
to welcome President Putin here on the Philippine soil.
It will be one.
It's a dream of mine. We'll do our best.
Thank you. It will be one of your final achievements, I think, from Channel 7.
In respect with Russia's offer to build a weapons manufacturing facility in the Philippines, how much worth of investment are we looking at, and how many jobs will be created?
Oh, I think it's too early to talk about such specific details. First of all, we need to get a positive reaction from our Philippine partners. So it's too early to talk about that. But we believe that, of course, we believe that it's a very good project, because it's not only an opportunity for our Philippine partners to get an access to sophisticated technologies, but of course it will create new jobs, and it will allow to develop your own defense industry and to become more independent in this respect. And it will allow your country to export arms and weapons, sophisticated arms and weapons produced on the basis of Russian technologies. But once again, so it's up to the Philippine government to decide.
Follow up.
Sir,
that's a follow-up question.
With regards to the invite Russia to explore, recently companies explore oil and gas in Russia. How many companies are you in talks?
So this offer is now under consideration. But this Russian offer is on the table, because we believe that it should be a two-way street. If Russian companies come to the Philippines to explore oil and gas here, so it's quite natural for us, for Russians, to invite our Philippine partners, Philippine companies, to go to Russia and to cooperate with the Russian oil and gas company on the Russian soil. Because our partnership should be based on mutual respect, on mutual interests. Otherwise, it should be long. It shouldn't be. Otherwise, we will fail to build a long-term strategic cooperation. So we see our intentions are transparent and responsible.
Ambassador Jan Vic from the Philippines. I just wanted to ask about the recent decision of President Duterte to fire an official of the Philippine National Oil Exploration Corporation over a supposed questionable deal with the Russian Rosneft. Just wondering if the Russian embassy or the government were able to discuss the matter to the government either before or after the firing of the Philippine.
First of all, I would like to emphasize that all you have just mentioned, it's a domestic affair of the Philippines. It's not our business. It has nothing to do with the Russian side.
But were you aware of this?
And it has, I'm assuring you that this decision, this decision, I'm saying again, so this decision belongs to the competence of our Philippine partners. We Russians, the Russian company Rosneft has nothing to do with that. But I'm happy to say that this decision has no impact on the cooperation between Rosneft and our Philippine partners.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning po. I have two questions. First question, any agreement arise for the visit of PRRD President Duterte on particular department, Department of Philippine Government, like Department of Science and Technology and Energy. Not just an offer of Russia, but the specific partnership of these departments of Philippine government.
Yes, right. Yes, right. Yes, a few documents were signed. Yes, in order to promote our bilateral cooperation in the field of technologies and science, and in the energy field as well.
I actually interviewed Secretary de la Peña of the OSC. He just told me that there is no energy development program or agreement between Russia and Philippines, only on science and education, academy, something like that. Can you clarify it?
Excuse me, so I don't understand the connection between the DOCT and the OST, between Secretary de la Peña and the energy fields, because the energy field is the competence of the Department of Energy.
Thank you.
So, but anyway, so I'm saying again, so two documents were signed with the Department of Science and Technologies. Yes, Science and Technologies about the cooperation in this field between our two countries. And now we are working on a few specific big energy projects with our partners from the Department of Energy.
Last question. Russia joined China in the One Belt One Road project. What is the importance of this project to different countries of the world?
As far as I know, the Philippines also supports one. Yes, this is a strategic project. So, and we believe that this, I think, intercontinental project which is aimed at connecting Asia and Europe. Yes, it will open. So it will open up new horizons, many new possibilities for all countries involved. And for Russians, it's very important to connect this project with the integration process on the post-Soviet space. That's our national interest.
Do you think this is our way towards peace and development of all nations?
Yes, we believe that it should contribute to the regional peace and stability, provided that all projects are realized on a mutually beneficial basis.
Good morning, sir. Sir, tell us about how is the Russian government fight drug problem in the country, and did you ever talk with the President Duterte regarding any cooperation on how to combat the drug menace here in the Philippines?
Thank you for your question. It's also unfortunately relevant, because drug trafficking is another common threat, common for both Russia and the Philippines. First of all, I would like to stress, we support the legitimate struggle of the Philippines against drug trafficking. It must be eradicated. Nothing to discuss in this respect. Russia suffers a lot from drug trafficking too. That is for us is from Afghanistan. So heroin. It's a very big threat for our national security, for the future of our nation. So that's why we believe that there must be no compromise in this respect with all of those who are involved in drug trafficking, because this threat must be removed.
You were saying legitimate aspect of, when you say legitimate action, you're referring to, because here in the Philippines we were confronted with the issues of human rights and
Let's talk frankly. It's up to you Filipinos to decide that, to discuss these aspects. We respect your sovereignty. That's why, please don't expect any comments from the Russian ambassador. Respect. We respect your sovereignty. We believe that the Philippine society is able to assess all these problems, to evaluate. Because it's up to you, to Filipinos, to give an assessment to the policy pursued by your government. That's not our business. But we, in principle, because it's an international problem, it's a transboundary threat, we fully support the legitimate struggle, legitimate campaign of the Philippine government against drug trafficking. And we sincerely wish our Philippine partners every success on this way.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Now,
I have two questions.
Mr. Columnist.
Only two, please.
First, there have been reports that the United States has broken away or no longer recognizing the intermediate range nuclear force treaty, which means it can have the prerogative to find bases in the Philippines. It has been observed a while ago that by my friend Keith that the military bases have been broken in 1991. But it's not so actually because of the EDCA, the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement between the Philippines and the United States, making the Philippine military bases as bases themselves of the United States. Now there is this existing military defense treaty between the Philippines and the United States, in which an attack on the Philippines will be automatically retaliated against by the United States. Now my question is, do you have the mindset, given the situation that the United States has already broken away from the INF Treaty, do you have the mindset for retaliating to whatever nuclear missiles are fired from the Philippine military bases?
Before the ambassador answers, just for clarity, the MDT does not have an automatic retaliation clause.
Okay, I was taken, but anyway, it can be invoked. That's my worry. I want to save the Filipino people from the devastation of the nuclear exchange between the United States and whoever. So in reference to, in this regard, I will gladly repeat my question, Mr. Ambassador. Do you have a mindset for retaliating against the Philippine military base in the event that this is used by the United States in firing nuclear missiles?
This is your first question, as far as I understand. And the second one?
That's the first question. The second one is, throwing back to your earlier statement that you will, that alliances, military alliances, presuppose a common enemy. In the event that the Philippines and Russia strike up a military alliance, which common enemy do you foresee?
So you put me in a quite awkward position. So, as according to fundamental principles of our foreign policy, as the Russian ambassador, I always refrain from any comments on your domestic developments and on your relations with any third country. Simply because we deeply respect your sovereignty. It's up to you, to Filipinos, to give any assessment in this respect. But anyway, so I'll try to respond to your question. The first one, It's a good question. It's a very important question about the fate of a very important international treaty on short-range and intermediate-range missile coordination. That treaty was signed in 1987. Oh, not 89. By then U.S. President George Bush, who has already died, and then Soviet President Michael Gorbachev. He's still alive. So that treaty is a cornerstone of security and stability in Europe. But the treaty was destroyed by the United States. Only the United States is responsible for the destruction, for the demolition of that cornerstone. So all American accusations against Russia on the so-called violations of the treaty are absolutely baseless, groundless. This is a pure propaganda. It's in our national interest to keep this treaty. But unfortunately, the United States withdrawn from the treaty unilaterally. It's an irresponsible policy. Irresponsible. Because this treaty is very important not only for Russia and for the United States. It's important for all countries in the world. As I have already said, all of us depend on each other. It's not possible to provide a selected few countries with security. The security must be for all, not for a selected few. And now we hear that some people in some countries, diplomatically speaking, they talk about the possibility to deploy intermediate and short-range missiles in Asia. It's something absolutely new, unprecedented, I'm sorry. So we have a responsible position, and President Putin said clearly, Russia will never deploy short-range and intermediate-range missiles in Europe, in Asia, in any other region if other countries don't deploy similar missiles first. Russians will never do it first. It can be only our reaction to the previous decision of such kind by our Western partners. That's our fundamental position. Because it's not in our interest to be involved in a new arms race. And of course, this irresponsible decision by the United States, so it has a very negative chain reaction. Because it encourages many other countries to spend more money for their defense needs, to elaborate new systems of weapons, to deploy new missiles. Is it a contribution to the regional peace and stability? So the bigger country is, the more responsible it must be for the global peace and security. So it's an alarming decision of the United States to withdraw from this treaty. Alarming, and I'm saying again, I'm sorry for my maybe undiplomatic language, but in our view, it's irresponsible. Selfish and irresponsible. It's not a way which will help strengthen peace and stability. That's our fundamental assessment. And I would like to repeat the Russian position for your better understanding. Russia will never deploy such missiles first. Never. So as for your question about the Russian mindset,
of retaliating.
So please, don't ask me about that. So please, this terrible scenario must be prevented at any cost. Okay? And please, don't consider my country in such terms. in terms of retaliation or something like that. I'm sorry, but it's irresponsible too. Okay? The Philippines is a partner and friend of Russia in the region. And by the way, so into our contradictions, our differences with the United States. That's not your business. So you see, we are very cautious and we are respectful. So, and your second question was about, sorry.
Can you precise that one? Will Russia retaliate against the Philippines?
Please, I'm kindly asking you once again, so please forget this language, retaliation or something like that, okay? It has nothing to do with the Russian-Philippine relationship. Never, please.
Well, I'm worrying about my people.
Thank you, Mao.
Yes, I fully understand your feelings, and that's why I'm assuring you that Russia is your friend and partner. Please.
Good enough answer.
Please, that's my,
Thank you.
this an official assurance of the Russian ambassador. Please, it's enough, okay?
Thank you,
Please,
Ambassador.
sleep well. Don't worry.
Last question from Gabi.
Sir, good morning. Good morning, sir. What will it take for Russian businessmen to undertake direct investments in our country, considering the business climate here? What I mean is, there have been criticisms that contracts reached here tend to be changed midstream, like some recent leaders questioning said contracts before the courts. So it may be a obstacle for Russian businessmen. Like the major projects reached in the incoming administration, we are certain that whoever succeeds President Duterte might question such projects which are already in this stage. So what will it take for Russian businessmen to make direct investments in our country?
You know, I'm a diplomat. I'm not a businessman. So I'm not in a position to wait to assess specific aspects of business activities. We believe that the business climate in your country is quite favorable for Russian companies. So I'm happy to say that now many big Russian companies are exploring business opportunities in your country. They are studying the business climate. They have already established direct ties with potential business partners in your country. So I'm talking about the energy field, transportation, telecommunications, agriculture, of course, some other fields. And we expect a flow of Russian business delegations to visit your country, yes, to explore everything, to study everything. So in a very practical way. So I believe that Russian and Philippine interested business people, they will be able to find mutually acceptable solutions, mutually beneficial solutions for their joint business activities. Let's wish all of them every success. Okay? Thank you.
There's one final question.
Very final, sir. I'm Madeline Villar, working from Sir, may I ask what is the plan of the Russian government with the rising number of undocumented Filipino workers in Russia?
Undocumented workers, Filipino workers.
There were reports, sir, that it reached for about 10,000 now.
Thank you for your question. So that's another promising field of our bilateral cooperation, and it was discussed in both Moscow and Sochi. So just for your information, so now the Russian draft intergovernmental agreement on the cooperation here in Manila. So we believe that it's absolutely necessary to build a robust legal basis in order to protect well the rights and legitimate interests of both employers and employees. because the rights, especially of ordinary people in Russia, must be well protected. The Filipinos are most welcome in Russia, and it was said by President Putin clearly. They are most welcome. We respect Filipinos. Russian people respect Filipinos because Filipinos have a very good reputation as hardworking, law-abiding, and nice people. But first of all, it's the responsibility of politicians, government officials, and diplomats. We need to build a robust legal basis. So, and I hope we'll do it in the near future, quite soon. Unfortunately, yes, the Philippine community is about, according to the Philippine embassy in Moscow. So the Philippine community in Russia now is about 10,000 people. And some of them have problems with the documents because they violated the Russian law. I hope there is no need for me to convince you that the law must be respected. So all foreigners must respect the Russian law in Russia, and like all foreigners must respect the Philippine law on the Philippine soil, definitely. Because unfortunately, some Filipinos, so they became victims of some illegal recruitment agencies. So they entered into Russia as tourists, not as workers, but as tourists. But the tourist visa is valid only for 30 days. And after the expiration of this period, so they stayed in Russia with no legal basis for that. That's the problem. So I hope that this problem will be solved on a mutually beneficial basis and with taking into account our friendship and partnership between our two nations. But first of all, and the soonest possible signing of the intergovernmental agreement on the use of labor force. So we'll help the problems of every and each Filipino in Russia. So we hope to get a feedback from our Philippine partners to our draft agreement as soon as possible.
Will Russia open more jobs for the Philippines, sir?
Yeah, definitely. So I have just said, President Putin said clearly, he told President Duterte that Filipinos are most welcome. We need Filipinos for the development of our economy. And believe me, please, so Filipinos will feel quite comfortable in Russia. Because our daily life is based on similar values. We have a lot in common. And I always add in this respect, I see only one major difference. You Filipinos, you smile much more than we Russians do. That's all.
Very good.
But I'm an exception.
Okay.
Because I smile as often as you do.
Ambassador Igor Kabayev at In Focus. Thank you very much. Until the next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure for me to spend the Saturday morning with all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can we have a picture taken at this table? Natalia, can you join us?
By the way, so please, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our press attaché, Miss Natalia. So please, if you need any kind of help, any kind of information from our embassy, don't hesitate to contact Miss Natalia. Okay? She'll be happy to help all of you.
They thought she is the Miss Russia.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And please one again. So sleep well, okay?
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Thanks for the achievement.
Okay?
mga kaibigan, yan po, napanood nyo yung episode ng isang forum sa Quezon City kung saan ay naging guest po si Russian Ambassador Igor. Igor, anong apelido ni Sir Igor, ni Ambassador Igor? Igor Kobayb ba o Kobab? So yan po, siya po naging guest at kung saan ay tinalakay niya nga po at sinabi niya na meron siyang offer dito sa Philippine government hinggil sa mga trabaho para sa mga Pilipino doon sa Russia. Ganyan din yung meron pang ibang mga infrastructure, mga proyekto dito sa Pilipinas. So sana raw ay sa kanya ay makonvince si Pangulong Duterte na pumayag at para magkaroon sila ng MOA o Memorandum of Agreement sa pagitan ng Russian government at ng Philippine government para sa mga Pilipino. Well, ako, kung mangyayari yan, Joshua, gusto mong magpunta ng Russia? Ayaw mo? Bakit? Para magtrabaho ka ron. Doon ka mag-technician? Ayaw mo? Malaki sweldo, no, Joshua? Pag doon ka alam mo doon, pagka ikaw technical, malaki sahod. Well, mga kaibigan, so pasamantala, ayan po, magpapaalam muna ang programang UTOL, Usapin, Talakayin, Opinyon, Lilinawin, dito lamang sa Spear, Cyber TV. At syempre, ako yung naging kahuntahan, kakwentuhan, kajamming, katropa pips, kapuso, kapamilya, kapatid, lahat-lahat na. Rocel Lopez. At nakasama ko sa technical side, si Joshua Mendoza. Pero pagpasensyahan nyo muna yung aking boses dahil tayo tinamaan ng sipon na tubo at parang monting na matrangkaso pero kinaya pa ng powers natin. So bukas, magbabalik pa rin tayo mga kaibigan sa ating paring Wednesday edition ng programang UTOL. At syempre sa mga susunod na araw ay aarangkada na ulit ang UTOL in action. Syempre dito lamang sa Spear Cyber TV. Bueno mga kaibigan, magandang hapon Pilipinas. Hasta la vista.
Talakayin, opinyon, lilinawin, kasama si Rocel Lopez, umaarangkada sa Spear Cyber TV.